Hey everyone, this is Sean, aka Kensuketa here. Just want to give a slight warning where we do talk about some heavy themes regarding Gundam Gquuuuuux and Gundam in general that could be kind of triggering. So just an FYI, we do mention SA, nudity, and a full discussion regarding teenage fan service. Just wanted to make sure that you are aware as we do talk about it before our Medabots finale. If you'd like to skip to the Medabots portion, head on over to timestamp 12105. Yeah, we do manage to talk about Gundam that long. If you haven't seen it yet, also check out our Gquuuuuux section where I do copy the audio from each review episode into its own thing. So, once again, fair warning on the topics and enjoy. Big Mecha. Dearly beloved, we are here together today for this wondrous finale of Medabots Season 2 for another episode of Big Mecha! But not huge. Shut the hell up.
Someone's practicing for their DJ career.
A little bit, yeah. Anyways, hi guys. I have Will with me. Say hello, Will.
Yeah, I said it.
Where's Will?
Mm-mm.
Will,
Hello
I need
there,
you. There
everyone.
we go. God damn it.
The silence.
Paul, say
It's gonna be a
hello
fun
since
listen.
you've already been on this audio already.
Why, hello, everyone. It is
Alright, now shut up. Anyways,
You dirty, dirty boy.
I took a shower today. Anyways,
Well, that's
Sure.
good.
yeah. We
Once
need
a
to-
month, you know?
Well, we're not going to get into that. Anyways, hello everyone. We are here to talk about the Season 2 dub finale of Medabots. Before we get into that, how you guys doing this week? You do anything mecha related?
Yes, I started watching a new show that literally was Gundam, had a vibe of Gundam Wing if they were actual guerrilla warriors.
Is this the one that you told me about the other day?
Yes.
Okay. What's it called?
What show is that?
It's called Amin at Borders End. At Borders End, or sorry, Amin before Borders End. Basically, they.
I'm gonna need you to Google this because I don't trust you.
No, it's. Let me just pull it up real quick.
Who has it?
'Cause it's on Crunchy. It's on Crunchy.
Okay.
It's
So it's
really
currently
freaking
airing,
good.
I assume?
No, it's already done. It's already done.
Mhm.
I was watching the first 5. I watched the first 6 or 7 episodes. Sorry, no. Sorry, first 10 episodes. Damn, I really went in on it. How do you
Apparently, you
spell
can't
this?
remember that you went that far.
Because they have so many episodes that are just fillers so you can get a personality for certain characters and
You
so that
already
you
took me
get,
out of it.
and so you can get like the sense of the world, but it's not like there isn't any action in it. It's literally each episode is character building with some good fights and showing what's going on in the place in the world, but it is
So is it actual filler or is it just like character building? Because when you say
It's
filler
character
with
build-
action, I think like One Piece where it has the
No.
filler with action, and those are one of the worst episodes ever.
No, it's character building episodes. I just feel like they're filler because I'm basically there to
Because you
watch
don't like
the
paying
mech
attention.
Well,
Got it.
not really. All this shit I've seen done more intense in any Gundam series, and the closest I get to this is it literally feels like I don't know how else to say it. It's literally feels like light iron-blooded orphans. Like it's not as like the kids are not treated as bad as the characters from Tekken, but it's literally what would happen if after World War II the US chose to actually occupy Japan, and now
Ooh.
Japan is the Japanese people are trying to get their country back while already having multiple occupying forces there. But
So it's like a version of Code Geass, except we're switching nations.
pretty much, yeah. Like everything is.
I think that's a little bit more timely considering what's going on with America, but yeah.
Like I'm watching it. It's pretty good. I love the mech design. They're smaller units. They're literally about maybe I want to say 3 stories tall at max. But it does go off
Okay.
of primarily all of the majority of the units are drone units. You have the main cast, they are using actual piloted units with AIs, which each one has some random chibi character as the AI's personal interface with the pilot, but they are all designed to be adaptable. And how they have them set up, it is very it's very like, they sit in the chair, they put on this VR equipment basically, and it's them actually moving the suit. So it's not like, oh, how the fuck are they picking up a thing when they literally have a control panel and they can't really do shit with it.
So what you're saying, it's like the drones from Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yes,
Before they were infected with the Evangelion shit.
correct. And
Gotcha.
they have those are the primary units, but they do have some manned units which are pretty cool. And they do literally have a unit called Ghost in the show that is, so far from what I've seen, it literally screams Obsidian Fury from Pacific Rim Uprising.
All right, you brought me back in.
So it's a good show, and but it's not so good that I'm not surprised that it's not getting a season two. Like it's
Well,
a fun watch to buffer you from series to series. It's nothing you're gonna become obsessed with. It's just one of those. Oh, this is a nice palate cleanser until something better comes out.
kind of sounds like what I did with Cross-Ange when we ended up getting the Hurricanes last year.
Yeah. Like
How
it's
do you spell this
fun.
show's name?
AMAIM warrior at the boundary line. So
Amaim.
at the
Got it.
borderline. At the
Warrior
borderline.
at the Borderline. Okay.
Yeah. I mean warrior at the borderline. It's pretty good.
Yep.
I
It's
enjoyed it,
yeah. Okay.
but
This
it's
is really modern in a lot of its design
oh
and
yeah.
its art
Like
style.
yeah. And it's if there were going to be mecha, these are more in line with what I would actually expect a real one to look like and be like pretty much, but it's mecha fantasy. Is the best I can say. And there's no fantasy aspect to it. There's no superpowers or anything. It's just they fight, and the units, when they take damage, they take damage. And
Cool.
but they still
Well,
have like the plot armor of, oh, your suit has some kind of armor that allows you to take more shots than anything else.
my suit's
BS.
bigger than yours.
Yeah. And I do think it's kind of funny that so far in the series they released that revealed that the guy that's supplying them with ammunition and weapons is a German dude from Germany who's giving them equipment
Oh
to
shit, German
Japan.
dude from Germany? No way.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so you're trying to turn like the axis of evil into the axis of freedom. Yeah,
So
it's like
pulling the subtext of revisionist history out of a show, not nearly as far from the truth as you would expect it to be. There's a lot of subtext in a lot of anime and fascist subtext and undertones, and the biggest one recently would be Attack on Titan and the way that the person who wrote the manga and inspired the show and essentially wrote the major points treats certain things has been called into question. Tweets and such about their personal feelings about certain characters in Japanese history, certain characters in other parts of history. It's a thing. Uh, yeah. I mean,
but
Japan hasn't been the
it's
best
an
about
interesting show.
teaching the negative parts of their history, and that's led to anime kind of romanticizing certain things.
Oh yeah, but this is an interesting show to watch.
Mhm.
I'm watching it as if it's just it's something to hold me over until the new episode of Gquuuuuux comes out.
Which we will talk about in just a little bit here, but first, Will,
Mhm.
have you done anything mecha related this week?
Watched like an episode of Gao Gagar. There was yelling. There was
Ooh.
a magician man. Yeah, I'm not quite done with the dub, but I'm like 13 episodes away from where the dub will just disappear, and I will be all of a sudden watching the show in Japanese.
You know what? I think I mentioned this to you before, but they also did the same thing with Higurashi. Higurashi, the entire first season is dubbed, and the second season I think was partially dubbed, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, then it was more than likely that the second season onwards was not dubbed.
Mm.
And then they made the new show, which debuted on Funimation. Rest in peace, you bastards. Um, and I think they dubbed that one. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you were watching Gal Gaigar. I really want to get into the Brave series.
It's I'm not super into all of the Brave, but I find myself. I mean, it's as far as I know, like tangentially related to Go Nagai stuff, and super robots are an interesting thing to be a part of because they are very the plot lets you win, and it's literally just how strong is the need slash desire of this character, and that 100% decides everything. It's very American comic booky, where like a character is as strong, as fast, or as smart as literally the plot demands, and then everything else is negotiable. That's kind of how super robots work. They're not hard sci-fi, but they're more conceptual in how everything is. And Gal Gaigar is very much aimed at kids, clearly, from how it's written and how it's structured. But it is interesting looking at it not as a kid and being like, some of the writing in this is interesting. There's a main mechanic around humans getting corrupted by this alien robot thing, and in the beginning, they had to find people who were essentially had a seed of like hatred or anger or resentment that was really strong that would resonate with their little thingy, and then it would make them in it just
Their little
amplifies all of
thingy.
that negativity and turns you into a big old kaiju monster thing. But then as the show goes on, it's almost like they just say, fuck it. And they just start like grabbing people who are either the newest episode was someone who was tactically useful, not someone who was upset or anything. They're like, it's just tactically speaking from like a military perspective, this is the good idea. This is a solid strategy. So they just grab this dude, corrupt him, and send him into the base. But
Wow.
yeah, it's interesting to see them have that be this major plot point that like there's something wrong and they are like amplifying the negativity, and then everybody gets saved, that person gets cured, and they literally show them like weeping tears of joy when it's over because they essentially get cleansed by one of the characters using basically magic. And he once he does that, that person is just they show them afterwards and they're just like all positivity and like happiness and just relaxed, and it's like the weight's been lifted off of them in that very metaphorical way. And now we're just at a point where the enemy has acknowledged it's basically a war, and they're like, all right, fuck it, let's do this.
Damn. I will watch that show eventually.
It is long. I think it's
Just
48 or something like that.
it's just right now I'm currently watching. Well, obviously Gquuuuuux, Medabots. We just finished season 2, and I've also been gearing up for our next special, which I will talk about at the end of this episode
Well,
here.
at least you're letting
Uh,
us know too.
Yeah.
yes.
I'm glad that I was
um,
aware.
yes.
And you can get,
So,
and you can get my actual reaction to your bullshit.
oh my god, you better be fucking watching it. I swear to god, if you are not, I'm gonna be fucking mad.
You got like
Aw.
2 or 3 weeks. He's just like, dude.
You are lucky that we are missing next week.
Yeah. Next week is that thing, right? So,
Yeah, I'll be doing something for work.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I got a thing to do
Um,
too, so.
So, other than watching those,
excuse me.
I finished Expedition 33, which
Oh.
was amazing. 10 out of 10, game of the year, game of the century.
How many hours
It's
did you pour
honestly-
in?
About 55, and I haven't even
Sounds about
finished
right.
everything.
Oh, I don't doubt that, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Like apparently you can get the story done in about 20 to 25 hours.
Yeah, sounds like a solid
Um,
JRPG
But it's
style.
a fantastic game. It's not mech related, but I just wanted to say that game is absolutely fantastic. But because I beat that, I now have a giant gaping hole in my heart. So,
You should just fill it with every
so
Final Fantasy
I've
ever
been
made.
trying to fill. No, I've been filling it with every single mech game that I own so far. So I've been playing Super Robot Wars. I think I'm getting to a point where it's gonna get a difficulty spike because I already finished all the lower rank quests. Now I'm getting into the rank B quests. So I'm assuming that once I finish clearing out all those, everything else is gonna start like jumping up. But I got 2 new Ultraman in it from the anime. I got Ultra 7 and Ultra Ace. So that was cool. And I still love the fact that it plays the theme song every time you
Nice.
end up getting a character.
That reminds me of Another
Uh,
Century. That show had that.
Oh, yeah.
That had
I
you could
wish-
unlock the
So good.
unlock the soundtracks to play during missions. Really cool.
I wish that game would come over to the West. I really do.
I think the series died
but
on the
hey,
PS3,
at least-
but
It did, yeah. They haven't made any more
Really
games as far as I'm
disappointing.
aware.
It's a good one.
But at least with Super Robot Wars, they also do have an anime that was released quite a while ago.
Only one?
But you can actually, as far as I'm aware, you can watch it for free either on Vudu or Tubi. So definitely go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But also on top of Super Robot Wars, I've been playing my SD Gundam games. Not only the mobile one that I talked about before, but I also have installed SD Gundam G Generation Genesis.
That's a lot of words.
Mouthful.
A lot of G.
Yeah. And then the other one was SD Gundam Crossrays. So Gundam Genesis, I think I talked about briefly. That one is strictly Universal Century Timeline games.
Really?
Or timeline missions. So you can start off pretty much with any series within the UC. And you can just, do whatever it asks you to do in order to go through those stories. I finished I didn't finish. I got up to the point where they did Jaburo in the first Gundam series.
Okay.
That was a difficulty spike that I did not pass. So I gotta level up some more units there.
There's an entire game about that.
Yeah. Journey to Jaburo is great, but good lord, that game is tough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the old Gundam games.
I remember
are rough.
100%ing that game back in the day, just because that was the time when I couldn't afford anything else. But anyways, yeah, Journey to Jaburo, great game. And then Crossrays is basically everything not Universal Century. So you can start off with Gundam Wing, G Gundam, Gundam Seed, all those different things. And what's funny is that I'm looking at all the animations in Crossrays and Generation, and I'm looking at this and I'm playing the mobile game like, oh, that's how they get away from production costs. They're using the same animations.
You noticed.
But it makes sense, and honestly, they're still fun. It's just Generation Genesis is a little bit tougher because of the fact that it doesn't have a lot of quality of life stuff. You can't maneuver between different units by pressing L1 or R1, like trying to tap.
You have to
through
scroll across the whole map.
Yeah,
that sounds frustrating.
And you can't zoom out.
Oh
either.
no!
So you
have,
no, yeah,
not in a tactical game.
Yeah, but in Crossrays and Super Robot Wars, you can. So I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm having fun with those. At least for now, until I decide I need to go back to Expedition 33. They nerfed one of my character's abilities, so trying to figure out what build I want to use in order to try and pick that back
they're
up.
still actively balancing that?
Oh, dude, like, they originally were only just going to do, like, bug fixes or anything else like that, but then they realized that they did a last-minute damage output for a buff for one of the character's abilities.
They accidentally broke the game?
Yeah, because apparently with the build that you can do over 2 billion damage. So
that's definitely not supposed to happen. It's not a Disgaea game. You're not supposed to see the number get that high.
Well, it's weird because like you can get like when you start doing like normal battles, you can get like 300,000 XP per fight, and then like the damage output is insane for the most part because then it's like everything that's super high that you would think is spongy, all of a sudden you're able to take down instantly, and it was awesome because of that. I'm like, oh cool, I don't have to deal with sponges. Now I'm gonna have to try and figure out something else that's somewhat similar, but still gonna pack less of a punch.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Still, if you get the chance, Expedition 33, it's only $50. It's a AA game, and it's fantastic. I will praise that game to the heavens. It's just go play it. And it's so good that previous guest host, Ryan from Toku for Two, and I think maybe one of our Transformers episodes.
At least one of them.
He also played it. He beat it before I did, and he fell in love with it too. And he doesn't really do the whole JRPG turn-based stuff anymore, as he hasn't since he was a kid. So, yeah, it's honestly something that everyone should play. But, with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and talk about Gquuuuuux. Alright, so, Gquuuuuux Episode 5. I am starting to think this is going to turn into a Kill 'Em All series.
No. None of the main characters have died. You're fine. That's not how that works.
Yet.
You can't kill them off by episode 4, Sean. We barely know their names.
Right now, they're killing off all the old characters who should have
Which
died to begin with. They're killing them off
arguably
All
anyway.
the ones who were
okay.
already
So
dead.
if we're gonna go that fast, I have a question for you. Why is it that the first like 2 or 3 fights they show them explicitly only knocking the heads off, and now they are just straight murdering everyone? What happened? Why is
Right?
every episode now a
I,
murder? You know what I think? Personal opinion.
I
I think that the writers of this one are explicitly drawing a hard line between this, the influence it gets from the original show and series, and saying, this is not that show, and literally killing everything from the war as a way of wiping the slate and being like, that is not our show. Those are not our characters. The war is over. These are soldiers who should have been gone and just could not adapt to new life. So we're wiping them out because they're barely alive anyway. Arguably, Witch could never actually survived after her Mav died. She was just a vessel for vengeance and half-heartedly lived on afterwards. Then she died, and they show her specifically and explicitly having a moment of peace as she died a new type, because she was one.
yeah.
Then they show the two of them die as soldiers who couldn't adapt to their new lives and just couldn't handle it and were just essentially rolling the dice as one last score because they don't know how to live one without the member of their team who died, who they do pay lip service to
He's
and
not
say,
dead.
yeah, they do. They said if only
He's not dead. They said he quit. He literally quit and was living his own life.
He's the mayor, dude.
what?
Yeah, he
Oh, that was
literally
MASH?
quit and was dating. It was married to a. Yeah, Mash quit
Yeah.
and was married to a supermodel and was running another side.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I
Yeah.
looked it up afterwards because I wanted a full clarification. And yeah, the only two people who were considered,
Dell and Ortega.
Black Tri-Stars still were the ones who were in this episode fighting. The other one legit
so
became
that
mayor.
Yeah.
only further illustrates my exact point. He adapted to the new life, the new normal, not being in the military, not fighting all the time, and the two of them couldn't give it up and couldn't figure out how to live, so they fought until they died. And killing them gives them that rest and finishes it for them because they couldn't survive without it. That's what I'm going to argue narratively the
I mean,
show
I
is saying.
agree.
I don't know that is
Yeah,
explicitly the thoughts in the writer's head, but if you told me we weren't doing that, you're doing a really good job of illustrating it without meaning to. And knowing that the guy who made this, his favorite show was 0080, which is all about one of the Gundam
Ooh.
shows that better
Yeah.
illustrates
Oh.
it better illustrates the actual price of war. The best shows for that, in my opinion, are 0080, 8th MS Team, certain episodes of 0083, specifically the one where he finds the Xeon pilot with one arm. That episode specifically illustrate the price of war in a way that Tomino clearly always wanted, but has trouble communicating in many of his shows. Gundam Wing does it fucking
well,
terribly,
he was
but
able. He was able to do that in original Gundam because, like,
yes,
with playing Generation Genesis, there's a lot of death that just happens and relatively quickly too, and it's like
yeah,
it still hits pretty hard.
yeah. There's an
Like I
entire
completely
episode
forgot.
dedicated to like the death of not death, but like the episode where Amuro's mom hates him and just disowns him. His father
Mhm.
becomes like damaged mentally. That's Tomino's message is that war sucks.
I don't think I remember that. I don't think
Oh
they
yeah.
included that in the movies.
Probably
It's in the
not, but there is
movies.
an entire episode of the anime where Amuro goes to Earth, finds a refugee camp essentially for like people who are hurt in battle,
His
hides
mom turns him
himself
into Xeon. His
almost.
mother turns him into. Yes, she tries to.
She tries to turn her son in because she hates that he's a soldier without, acknowledging that her son nearly died this entire time and is not gung ho a soldier. He was drafted because he had to, because it was that or die. She doesn't even listen to his argument. She starts with, you're a soldier, you're a monster, I hate you, walks away. Amuro is still a teenager, thinks his dad is dead at this point, and his
Mm-hmm.
mother, the only other relative he has just told him to fuck off. And he is,
Wow.
yeah, the original Gundam tortures Amuro for the entire show. He doesn't become remotely balanced until the show is over and the war ends.
Man,
His
so
life
I've only
sucks.
this is a bit of a secret that I'm now unleashing to you guys.
Huh?
I've only ever watched the movies because back
You
in the
lose so
day,
much context.
Oh yeah.
yeah, but also back in the day, it had a little bit of a tumultuous airing thing, and not only that, but I was also grounded a lot when I was a kid, so I was never
I
able to
mean,
watch the series in full.
No,
But I
no,
was able to purchase the DVDs for the movies back when they were released by Bandai, and unfortunately they weren't dubbed. But
they still aren't
I
dubbed.
was able to watch all those movies over and over, and so granted, yeah, obviously the movies cut out a lot,
Yeah.
but it still gets the gist of everything that you
Mhm.
need,
Yeah.
and that was my primary basis of watching the original series.
Yeah, you miss out on the. There's an episode where it is because it's a kids show. They don't.
Yeah, no, the original really isn't.
Well, okay. I'm going off. I'm talking about the
In
episode where
1979, it was a children's show because back
I would
then.
debate that none of them are kid shows except for maybe G Gundam.
no,
No,
I'm
no, no.
talking.
The
It
Build
was
Fighters episodes, those
the
are all for
Mobile
kids.
Suit Gundam. There is an
Those don't
episode.
exist.
Jesus.
Yeah, there is an episode where literally you are watching it. Amuro comes in after three Xeon soldiers have already killed a girl.
Jesus.
I don't
It's
remember that
not
one.
very. It was literally when Amuro leaves the white base and takes the Gundam with him when they're
Also,
on
I'm gonna
Earth.
have to bleep what you just said.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Fair.
sorry.
Well, no, we can say the
Sorry.
word. It's up to Sean if he what he wants to flag the video as or whatever.
Yeah, I just don't want certain things being said out loud.
I am sorry about that one. But
Yeah,
yes,
like I can call you and I can also say fuck you, but I refuse to say anything sexual allegation wise or anything like that.
I do apologize. That one, I just want to use that. It's clear that the Xeon soldiers did something to a young girl, and they are celebrating in her home after whatever happened. And literally, the dialogue leading up to it, even in the Japanese original audio, you hear them saying, "Oh, it was fun having our way with this little Earth girl," and Amuro is literally trying to find food because he's starving, and that's
Did
when
they include that in the dub too, or no?
in the dub it's not as clear, but it is clear
Because they
that
tried to scrub it a little.
yeah, they try to
That
scrub it
would
a
make
little,
sense
but
because it was originally Bandai.
yeah.
Yep.
So
It's clear that they scrubbed it a little, but they still left like the pretext of either them killing the people who own the home and those soldiers taking
Celebrating
advantage of
in the
everything.
dead people's house.
Yeah,
good lord,
but yes,
All right.
there's
Yeah,
been a lot.
that's
Tomino's
something that's gonna be fun.
Tomino's whole message generally, when it doesn't always get across well, but generally his message is war is bad. I think he's strongest communicating that when he basically just shows like characters being damaged and tortured and dealt with terribly, not as a form of like cathartic, awful Saw the movie torture porn, but like this is what war is. War is bad. I don't want people doing it. So he made multiple shows communicating, don't do that. Some of the best moments in
I
Gundam to
mean,
me
that
will
explains
always be that.
Ideon. So
Yeah, no, Idion is that entirely. I've read a few descriptions of it, and yeah, that's again that he's communicating it. He doesn't. It doesn't always come across in Gundam because not all the shows are good at that. But generally, it's war bad is the basis, and when he's involved, he tries to get that across.
remember, you now have access to Ideon. So whenever you want, you can watch that.
Okay, and I do also feel like that Gcux is literally prepping everyone with if you're happy you're seeing someone from the original UC storyline on screen,
They're gonna
prepare
die.
that they could die. Like they
Oh no, they're
could,
going
they
to.
die.
Like none of the things are surviving from the war if they are still. So far, it's if they're still soldiers. I don't know how hardcore about it they'll be, and if they'll start like offing them off screen and just like mentioning they died. But
Oh,
yeah,
But I do
that's
like
right.
this
I
episode.
remember. It was a good episode, but there's
Yeah.
something I want to talk about real quick.
is it the third leg?
What do you mean?
The Doms literally have a third leg growing out of their back. It was
Yeah.
a cool design
Oh
choice.
no, that was really fucking cool.
Right?
That was
Wasn't that
great
fucking
design.
awesome? Like, first off,
That was
they
awesome.
first off they
Great
called
design.
them Rick Doms, so they called
Yep.
them the space version, and that makes sense because in space you don't necessarily have to care as much about aerodynamics. You do have to care about weight distribution, which is why the leg
That
folds
would
up
help.
as a backpack, and it's awkward, but it works because the boosters still fire. But when they turn themselves into like jets with the 3 points. Oh my god, that's so fucking good. And it reinforces the whole idea of
everything-
Black TriStar. It makes it so much more them. God, it's so cool.
Everything about the mechanical aspects of any suit that we see in this particular show is phenomenal.
I love this.
They exceed
I know it's
everything by like
divisive. There's a
10
lot of
points.
debate about between fans because these are very extreme redesigns, but holy shit, I think they're awesome.
I
I
mean,
love
when
weird
people
shit,
started
but
saying, "Is that a Gelgoog or is that a Jim?"
I mean, okay, that was
That
fine
was
because calling that a Gelgoog was weird. It wasn't a Gelgoog. That was clearly a
wasn't a
GM
Gelgoog.
with three
I
eyes.
know.
Custom
I
GM.
know.
It's
It
just
was
a
clearly
GM
a
with
power
extra
GM
shit.
from 0083.
To make it a
It was
Gelgoog,
clearly
it
the
has
power
to have
GM
bell
from
bottoms. That's
0083.
what a Gelgoog has, is bell bottoms.
I know.
And it has
But
to have the
hey,
fin. It has to have the
Oh,
fin.
and a
I'm
giant
sorry, I
has to have
need
a
the
giant
fin.
skirt, giant fat skirt,
yeah,
and
but
big
remember,
big boots.
I harped on this the last time. They overtook all the Fedi
I
operations,
know.
so at that
I know
point,
that it makes
literally
sense.
everything is just
I
Federation
know that
shit.
it makes sense. I'm just saying if you're gonna bother to use the word and just like it has nothing to do with the other ones, like okay, fine, but it's
Well,
confusing and weird.
it
Oh,
makes
and
me
they're
curious to see if we're
building.
actually going to see any other
Advanced
Xeon
Xeon
type.
designs.
Right, because we got the Rickdom.
Yep,
That's
which
cool.
did exist in the war at the end when they were fighting. So that would have
Yeah.
existed. It's
Right.
the space version of the Dom. The Earth version was probably that with only two legs, because that would totally screw up the weight distribution and would just make it
Hmm.
heavier for no reason. You could still lean the torso forward, bend the knees a little, and still get the hovering aspect with two legs. So that's clearly the
Yeah.
space version, and it's cool. But
And
yeah, I
it
don't
looks
know if
like
we're
it's
gonna get
a
any of
high
the advanced like
maneuverability.
weird shit. They didn't even make the Zeong, so
I
Mm,
have no idea. It'd
it
be
might.
interesting to see if they decide as a Xeon being something, watch it just be like the Psycho Gundam.
I
I
think the
mean
Xeon will
maybe.
actually be the Nightingale. I think
They'll
when
just
we
skip
actually
to
get will be the
Sazabi by the end of the
Nightingale.
show and give us their version of like the Sazabi and shit.
Yeah, they'll
No, because
call the
Sazabi was
Nightingale
like
the Sazabi.
0089, wasn't it?
Sazabi
Yes.
happens in the movie. Uh, excuse me, the Charge counterattack. He gets it
Yeah.
Yeah,
after.
0089, and then Unicorn is 0093.
No, Unicorn's 0090.
You
Yep.
sure?
Let's see.
I thought it was 93.
Unicorn is very
Well,
long. It just took forever.
we're not getting into that.
But I do think that the show is good, and I will say this: I think they will speed up the timeline basically because
You think they're gonna time jump?
look. Well, I don't mean
I
they're going
don't
to
think
time
so.
jump. I mean I believe they're
Oh, the
speeding
suit
up
production type thing.
the suit
Yeah,
production
because they
timeline.
technically in this version they've
Oh,
had 6 years uninterrupted to build whatever they want. And the
Yeah.
Gelgoog's experimental, military only. The Gquuuuuux is experimental, Gelgoog only, or military only. So it's like, it's interesting. The Rickdoms are technically old. They're 7 or 8 years old, close to a decade as far as design is concerned. So they're not new. So them losing makes sense. But it'll be interesting to see what those 6 years did. Like we haven't even seen other military suits technically because
not
Chalia
yet.
Bull
We've only seen military
only has
police.
this, and these are just the side, which are just repainted old ass Zaku's. That's all that is. The cops had. So I would want to
Yeah.
see what the true actual military gives to like people they like because they don't like Chalia, clearly. They're just appeasing him to get him out of the way. So I would love to see like
But
a
apparently
real
he's getting a
knockdown
new
drag out fight between like what he said, the zombies. So actually have them garner forces and like start doing stuff. I kind of hope we move beyond the
Okay,
side at
okay.
some point.
So let's get into the plot for this episode real quick. So because you mentioned something that I want to get into. Also to signify that we're doing plot. Everybody plot. Okay, you guys. Oh, thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Yeah, for once I actually say thank you. Anyways, so this particular episode it takes place pretty much right after the end of the last one, like maybe a day or so later.
Yeah, they don't put much time
Um,
between the
Like a
episodes.
week.
They're very clearly like whenever these fights get lined up, which is probably like a week or a few days, they're pretty fast. These
mhm.
aren't like months later, like a prize fight. These are underground kill fights. So, yeah,
Literally.
which they mention is
So
okay. It's just generally to win, all you have to do is hit the head. But if you really want to, you can go murder people.
I guess,
Apparently.
which of course Machu is not feeling too
She
great
doesn't
about.
do that yet. Give her
So
time.
yeah, and so they focus on her and how she is feeling regarding the fact that she ended up killing
She didn't.
somebody.
She didn't kill anyone. She stood by and watched
Well,
and felt it because new types feel when another new type dies and you're that close, you
Right.
literally resonate with their death and get like a psychic echo. That's actually pretty consistent. That
Hmm.
happened in the original show. He wrote it into the book
Mm-hmm.
series, and it happens in multiple other ones. The idea is new types are all kind of tuned into each other. And when one of them dies, especially if they're strong or there's a lot happening emotionally, they send out a shockwave that other new types feel. And the stronger you are, the farther away you can be when you feel it. Fun fact. In one of the books, he has one character have a full on conversation with someone who was nowhere near where they died. And it's like his, hey, I died. We're going to have a little closing talk. This is your closure type of thing. It was really cool.
Wow.
You should read the fucking
That
books.
is actually pretty
No, the
awesome.
books are amazing.
I need to find it because apparently they're not available
Oh
anymore.
no, they stopped printing them. It's in my house though. I'm pointing at it.
Yeah. But with that being said, so the I don't know all the characters' names yet, but it's the woman with the pink hair.
Uh,
That's part of the Pomeranians.
Ani.
you
She
mean
decides
Ani.
wait,
what's her
pink
name?
hair?
I think it's Ani or Annie or something like.
Yeah, I don't
The
remember her
handkerchief, the
name.
one I
Just
think
just
that's
say
in
the
the
only
rebellion.
girl in that sausage fest. The one who you guys think is a spy.
That's true. Anyways, I'm gonna call her the leader for
Let's call
now.
her the spy. We're gonna call it what it
So,
is.
anyways, the leader
I'll
of the
look up her name.
Pomeranians.
Technically, I don't think
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know if
probably
she's the
true.
leader. I think she's
Um,
just the boss.
She is the leader.
uh, well,
They
that
all
boss leader,
they
same
all
No,
thing.
I think
answer
the
to
So,
her.
boss is
anyways,
the leader is the
she
guy
They
decides.
who has
all
the
answer
dog.
to her.
That's why it's called Pomeranian.
God damn it.
Let's see.
But
So hey,
anyway,
Paul.
so
I just really wanted to interrupt Sean one more time.
you son of a bitch. God damn it. Anyways, so she goes to have a little chit chat with Machu, who, all right, originally I was concerned about this because of the way that people were portraying this online on
Yeah,
social
that's the
media,
internet.
because the internet is
Oh,
really horny.
heavily. I'm pretty
Um,
sure there was Rule 34 of the Gquuuuuux robot design before the show came out as a movie. I'm pretty sure that was already a thing.
I
Of
wouldn't be
just the
surprised
robot.
either.
Not like the robot
But
as armor, the robot.
yeah, so there's a in this particular moment, there's Machu who not really in a bikini, but
Yes, she
she's
is.
like laying
She's in
out
a
She's
bikini.
on
in a
the
bikini.
roof of a building, and oh, all right, fine, she's in a bikini, and she is basically trying to get a suntan or just staring off into space while
She's
lying on the
chilling out,
roof.
communing with the light and the
Yeah,
sun.
because she's still like in shock,
Yeah,
pretty much,
she's not a soldier, so
and
watching people
the internet
die.
She's not
went
even.
haywire with that.
Yeah.
She's not even
Yeah,
in shock that. She's not even shocked that she died. She's shocked. She's questioning why did she die in front of her. That is
right.
literally it. It's not she died. No, it's why did she die in front of me? Like
Right,
why
and I'm
did
not
she want
focusing
to
on
die?
that right now. The thing that the internet seems to be focusing on is the fact that she was in a
Yep.
bikini and that she has a little bit of a bigger chest. The problem with that, though, is the internet is basically pointing that out and then running away with it, and she's still technically a minor.
Oh no, she is.
Um, regardless of her being a fictional character, she's still a minor.
Yeah.
So when people start pointing that out, before I even watched the episode, I was a little disturbed by that because I'm like, come on, like it's not something that we need to hear or see, and I was a little perturbed by that until I watched the episode. The episode really doesn't focus on
Nope.
it all that much.
It's,
It does it in a way where it's just
she's being
it's
a teenager.
basically panning the scenery a little bit. It does focus on her for like maybe 10 seconds in a not a compromising position, but close enough.
It's
But it doesn't do it in a way where it's trying to make it sexual. It's doing it in a way where it's just basically pointing out she's just busy in thought the entire time, and she just so happens to be in a bikini on the roof.
I would argue that the leering
I'll go
camera
with that.
angles you can infer from, again, given some of the studio working on it and the style they're going with, they showed restraint, especially for anime, but the show is partly,
especially for a Gundam anime.
yeah, actually for some
So
Gundams,
let's
but
let's be honest. All ever you see up until the 90s had nudity in every episode
what?
in every season.
What
Every series had a nude
was the
scene.
original shows?
Original show, there was multiple times of Fraubo and Mirai bathing the kids. You would always see
I
Fraubo
vaguely
and,
remember that in the
and
movie
Mirai,
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mirai naked. and they were
But that's also not, done in any kind of sexual way
no,
either. It's
it's
just
done
So
as
I
it's just
would
happening.
yeah, it's done as a
a
it's
slice of life.
literally
It's
a
just part
slice
of
of
it.
life.
And
It's
nudity
literally a
is
slice
treated
of life. What's
differently in
going
different
on?
cultures and countries, though anime has a terrible track record with objectifying men, women, anything that is
Oh yeah.
horny. There's the horniness in anime is
Yeah.
something to be discussed. I would argue that this show, the way it's doing it for now, I don't like some of the camera angles. I do disagree that some of those camera angles were on purpose because
One of
when
them
you
I didn't
center
like.
frame
Yeah.
something and you basically jam the camera into the character, you're doing that for a reason. You could have zoomed it out to draw less attention. You're doing that on purpose, so they don't
Hmm.
get a pass for that.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
I would say this show is there are multiple things when writing that you're tapping into. This show is pretty clearly tapping into, I think, drawing a line between the idea of new type awakening in humanity and drawing its own line with we're going to make the characters younger, and it's also going to be these are teenage characters going through the natural awakening that happens when humans are teenage. They've already shown Machu and Nyan both kind of have a bit of a crush on the guy who's
Oh, I
that's
completely
well,
forgot
they
about
wrote
that.
that
Good
into
lord.
not just this episode, but before now. They clearly made it look like the two of them kind of like blush when they're around him because they're having that first awakening of
I
attraction
thought
towards other people. And I think that's one of the
I thought
Yeah.
Neon had a thing for her, for Machu.
no.
I kept thinking that Neon had a
Oh
thing
no,
for
not at all.
Machu.
Not after this episode. It's very clear they both have a thing for the dude piloting the Red Gundam.
She
Like
freaking
100%. That's all that is.
she war banded him. She war banded him.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
That could you're gonna want
Oh
to
my god.
words?
I'm gonna strike that
Okay.
from the. We'll fix it in post.
Wow. Okay. Uh,
No, I'm talking about in the fight how she literally reaches
Oh
over,
yeah, no, that
grabs the
Oh,
Gundam's
oh,
head,
no, no, no,
and
that
we'll,
pulls
we'll
it
talk.
up.
that's
We'll
entirely
talk about that
no,
in a
no, no,
minute.
that's entirely
Yeah.
you're drawing a line that I mean, if you see that, fine, but I very much disagree with that being a line. That's entirely different. Being in the middle
Oh
of a
no, no, no.
fight and having an awakening of aggression and then fighting to win is not the same as this guy's cute and I have a crush on him. Those aren't you can
Oh
have
no,
both.
no, no.
Right.
That's not the
I
same.
Yeah.
don't think that.
Seriously,
I
get your
don't think
get,
that. I'm
get,
just
get
saying she
You're just
war
trying to skip
banded
ahead,
him.
motherfucker.
She war banded him.
She did,
Like
and it
I
was
kept
really funny.
thinking that
And
like
I actually really like. So what I really enjoyed in her story so far is they made her not be background anymore. I really
oh
like that
yes.
they literally locked up the main character
So
to be like, you don't
let's
get
back
to
up for
be
a
in
minute.
this. We're gonna let this person shine. That's actually really fun and
Let's back
interesting.
up for a minute. That way we can actually explain what happened there.
Okay,
So after Machu and the woman end up having their
still
talk,
think she's a spy. I
um,
agree with your assertion.
Hmm.
yes. So with that being said, we get some more information regarding about the Zabi family, and apparently there's even more infighting
Yep.
going on that we haven't really seen much of
Nope.
yet. But it looks like there's going to be another full-scale war soon,
Yes, which is
Yes, it
which I
gonna
is in the
am
next
interested to
episode.
So
see.
that's going to mirror the plot line for Zeta, which was the power vacuum left after Xeon fell, and the Xeonic remnant drove the world into another power struggle between the Federation, Titans, and
Oh,
or the Titans and the AU, which is the Xeonic remnant forming, I believe, the Titans and the Federate, or the other way
That's
around.
right.
I
Yeah.
don't remember because
I already
allegiances and
got
shit
it.
changed, but yeah, it's
I already got it.
oh,
Season one is gonna end with Cassilia running Neo Zeon
hmm.
and Garm and sorry, no, Girin
You think they're going to
create.
survive that long?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that pretty sure that they are still gonna
Well,
survive,
the only dead
but
zombie so far is still Dozel, so all the others are
yeah.
alive.
So I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Girin running the Xeon, the original Xeon, and
Yep.
Cassilia finally having enough of not being able to be in command and creating the Neo Xeon faction, and it's literally gonna end
Civil
there.
War. It's going to end with a civil
All
war
right.
between them.
So it's curious that you mentioned that. So you did mention Zeta with the Titans and the AUG. Do you consider the military police that were on that colony possibly Titans?
No,
They're
because they are
Titans
just the military
terrorists,
police who
but
work for one side, a side that is unaligned with Xeon. So it's essentially a third party country.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
you're basically dealing with a sovereign nation that chooses not to be a part of the big, huge everyone group, but still actively trades
Hmm.
with them, does deals with them, clearly gets spare military hardware from them, and is allowed its own level of autonomy because they're so far out at the edges that policing them would be pointless. They're like, look, we don't give a shit. Just do whatever you want. We don't have time for you because we can barely handle all the crap we got in the war. We can barely handle that. And then on top of
Hmm.
that, you have internal power struggles between all of the zombies who were always kind of at odds. Um, and as much as as much as I love the best headshot in all of Gundam, and Cassilia is a zombie, Cassilia actually, the way that I've seen multiple versions of her, she kind of is probably the one zombie you actually want in charge. Like, yes, she essentially did human cloning, experimentation, and turning people into weapons. However, she's basically a scientist at heart, driven to explore the edge of human evolution and stuff. That's essentially what Cassilia is. So if I had to pick a zombie to put in charge who isn't going to run it all into the ground or be weird, it would be her, especially because humans are turning into new types, whether you like it or not. Machu and Yan both awakened in a robot designed for new types who already know that they're new types, not to turn into one. So humans just are new types if they're born in space far enough forward genetically. So, with that being a thing, if Cassilia doesn't die off screen somewhere or they don't have her murdered by an assassin, I could see her forming a new type faction, probably calling it Neo Zeon or whatever, and essentially being like, this is the true vision and actually purely aligning herself with the values of the original Zeon Zoom Daikun, which would also explain why in this version she knew who Char was and didn't give a fuck. She didn't. I
Yeah,
don't know if in the original she even any of them knew who he was. I don't think she
she
did.
knew.
She knew in
She
the
knew.
original because she was also the
She knew.
information
Dozel
officer.
knew. She knew. Dozel knew. A
Giran didn't.
lot
He
of
would have
them
fucking
actually.
killed him.
Giran didn't because he didn't care.
Oh,
He
interesting.
didn't
Because he
care.
was useful as Char, so he's like, you serve a purpose. I don't give a fuck about your
It
backstory.
wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. Giran is okay. Giran does not have time to focus on someone lower than
So it's
him.
not that he didn't care; it's because he was too absorbed doing other things.
Yeah, Giran didn't care and didn't know, and I'm pretty sure if he wanted to know, he would have found out
Okay.
because it was the worst kept secret throughout all of Xeon.
Oh yeah, even in Jaburo, people are like, "Oh, that's who's Shar? Oh shit, Artesia? Oh shit, Castfall."
Okay, you know what?
So
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be the only reason why Garma didn't know is because he's so freaking self-involved that he didn't give two shits at
Oh yeah, yeah.
Char's shitty ass
Garma was just
as
a
explanation.
dumb, spoiled, noble, rich asshole. Um,
oh yeah.
That's really all he was in the original. It will be interesting because they keep name dropping Makuve, whose name is French, and I'm sure I'm doing that wrong. But
No, you're
No, it's
right.
they
Makuve.
Yeah.
keep name dropping him, which makes me think they might actually write him in as someone with actual real power in the new Xeon Runs Everything world. So you might be
Hmm.
looking at like part of the end of season one or even into season two might be a very political. Like the political storyline might be all of the factions maneuvering and leading into another, not 1 year war, but another mass battle where they wind up lining up forces and like attacking each other, and everyone is like even more depleted at the end of it.
It's gonna be a Xeon Civil War.
Oh,
It's
there's going to
literally
be
gonna be a
because you can't have
Xeon
the
Civil
zombies
War.
all be alive because they're is their dad still alive?
Six? No, he's dead.
Did they say
He
he
died
died?
like right at the beginning.
Did they
Oh wait,
say he
no,
died?
he dies after Garma's
Yeah,
death,
and if
but they
Garma's
never
not
said if
Oh,
he
dead,
that's right.
died
if Garma didn't
in the
die and they
show.
only name drop the death of Dozel, is he still alive in this version?
It's
Because if he's
possible.
Possible.
alive, he is the iron fisted ruler above all of them. They can have their infighting, but he tells them all to essentially shut up, children, and then he's still in charge. If they haven't killed him yet,
No,
that might be the big
he.
inciting incident to the Civil War. It might be his
Oh,
death, and then the power vacuum,
yes.
all of them stand up and go, I want to be in charge, and then they all point guns at each other.
Oh man, I
Man, there's
freaking
so much
see it.
speculation going
Because they
on.
haven't given
I
us enough.
freaking
God
see
damn it!
it. I freaking see it. Like halfway through this season, literally he dies, and it's Giran and Cassilia fighting over who has more influence and
Right?
power
And
throughout all of Xeon.
that's a
And
real
boom.
question. Which one of them has more? Because at this point, after the war, no battles to win, no glory to get. It's been 6 years. People have moved on. Now it's a question of,
And
how
Cass-
many jobs have you generated? What have you done to the places you wiped out on Earth? Do they still hate you? Whose residual resentment can she feed on to point at Giran and say, yeah, I'm a zombie too, but I also hate my brother. And if you put me in charge, I care more about like science and all this other shit. I will help you improve. I'll give you running water and food and all this other stuff, which is literally how you incite a resurrection or incite a. Oh my God.
Revolution.
There you go. One of those. Giving people
Oh, I'm
food and
pretty
water
sure.
can convince them to go to war if they're desperate enough.
Oh, please.
So,
Everyone knows that Cassilia is going to literally say that Giran set up an assassination plot to kill their father,
I mean, he
and
probably
that's
did. I
why
think they mentioned it in the original
he
that
did.
he tried to kill his dad
He
multiple
did that.
times.
He did kill his
Oh
dad
yeah, he
at the end.
did. He acted.
He
He
did
he
kill his
successfully
dad.
murdered him.
He,
Yeah.
I think he literally set up like the convoy for his father's shuttle was flying through an Earth Federation like battlefield.
Yep. And then he
Like
just friendly
it was
fired him.
like yeah, it's like oh yeah,
Oh
I'm
boy.
gonna make sure
always
your
with the
ass
friendly
dies.
fire.
It's
Ah.
But
it's
before we get into
always
more speculation, let's finish up the plot on this
Yeah.
episode.
Sorry about that. This show just has a
So,
lot of what ifs that
no,
could be really cool.
no, it's good conversation. Trust me, because the fact that we're generating this much when we've only like 5 episodes
Right.
in,
all right.
that's insane.
Oh. God, I can't wait to actually see what they
um,
do.
Mm-hmm.
so after their conversation, after we learn about the infighting between the zombies currently, we cut back to Nyan and Machu. They are getting food and they want to go visit the Red Gundam pilot. Is his name Shino?
I don't
Yeah,
remember. I don't know their names that well.
yeah, it's Shino.
I know Nyan
All right, I
because
only know
I'm
Machu
she's
and
looking it
Nyan
up.
cat.
and Chalia.
Yeah, I just know
I'm
Yeah,
Nyan,
looking up their
Chalia,
team.
and then the name of the robot,
and
and then
Machu.
Machu, and that's it.
Um,
And that's her nickname. It's not actually her name.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
Amelie.
something like that. I
Oh.
don't remember. She mentions that
No,
she went with a childhood nickname, and then she's embarrassed about it.
yeah, and is it this episode or is it the last episode where her mom like basically yells at her for?
Uh, so she's at odds with her mother because she didn't fill out she didn't take seriously the career placement thing. She wrote something
She
stupid.
wants to be a jellyfish.
That's what she
She
wrote.
wanted to be a
She wanted to be a
jellyfish.
jellyfish, which her mom got mad at. You know what I would have said? I would have looked at him and been like, you ever try painting, writing, any sort of artistic endeavor? Because when your answer to my future career is name of an animal, you either want to do something with those animals in like marine whatever, or you're an artist who sees a question and just answers so off to the side, you're like, you should probably make stuff. That you should probably be an artist because that's the kind of
Oh,
like Salvador Dali response sort of thing.
Well, it's interesting because then we go into the next moment where they finally do meet up with the Red Gundam pilot,
Shuji.
and
Shuji.
they
There
Shuji.
it is.
There we go.
That's his name.
Shuji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they meet up with him and they are fawning over his art.
Yep.
And she tries to explain to him what Kira Kira means. Will, I would be surprised if you're still angry about it anymore.
Well, it's fine because they didn't. This is okay. This show.
It's an actual thing
So this
now.
show,
They're
yeah. This
defining
well,
it.
one that two. She mentions that it was an awkward way of her just trying to. It's essentially I've
To
never
explain
seen
it.
this thing before. I don't know what to call it. It's also that the struggle inside your brain when you experience something and you have to describe it, but it involved emotion. You have trouble
Mm-hmm.
describing emotion because, as far as we can tell, the two parts of our brains that think logically and descriptively, and the part of our brain that does emotion, are literally separated. Not completely, because they're both your brain, unless you go through a very specific surgery to solve certain issues. But the reason you can't literally
Mm-hmm.
describe what an emotion is because an emotion is nebulous, and the part of your brain that does this chair is red, it is made of wood, it is tall is completely separated from the part of your brain that experiences and deals with emotion. So you can't describe it. You come up with a bunch of approximations, which arguably are never actually there. So she's trying to describe the experience of the whole new type awakening, and all she can come up with is what she saw because it was so overwhelming. That's all her brain could do is go, sparkly, pretty, and then just kind of she's dazed when it's happening, and then it's gone because there's so many layers to what she's experiencing. She's literally seeing without using her eyes. She's feeling everything around her. She's now felt someone die. She physically, maybe, or like psychically, she feels really, really close to Shuji when she does it because they're both new types. But she can also sense other people, and they can like sense and feel intention. Like when they make the DOMs purple to show like their negative intention towards the main cast, when they're not new types, so they don't feel any of this. She can feel it and
Mm-hmm.
sense where they are, even though her sensors are gone at that moment, so she's effectively blind because they overload the camera and it crashes. And she's like, "Oh no, I know exactly where they are," because that's a new type thing, because she's sensing the person inside the robot. She's not actually sensing the robot. I just realized you can kill a new type with an actual robot because they can't feel it. Huh.
Mm,
Well, I just realized the Achilles heel of all new types is literally just don't put a human in
don't.
it.
The one thing I didn't realize that you would be going into all of a sudden, oh, everything makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's just the turrets from Aperture Science. Yeah, new types couldn't see them coming. Yes.
Ah, fuck. Uh, anyways, so they're talking with Shuji, and Shuji is. You can already tell that something is off about him with this particular episode compared to the other ones. And Neon, the first thing that she does is she wants to get down to his level and basically strips down to also
Yep.
underwear. And then Machu, realizing, oh, I'm a little jealous, I'm in competing mode, I'm gonna do the
Yep.
same thing. But then they just immediately go like, so what are we gonna do about the fight? And then they transition to the next scene where they're walking away. Shuji's still with his Gundam, but they're walking away. And all of a sudden, there is it Xeon or is it military
Military
police? I don't remember.
police.
Xeon.
It
Um,
no,
oh, that's right.
it's
That's
the
right.
military police.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
It's
sorry.
just
So
Yeah,
colony.
military
Well, we
police
call them
first.
military. It's the colony police. They call them military police, but it's just the cops of the colony who work for the colony, who are looking actively for
right.
people involved in A, the Gundam fights, and B, really, really heavily searching for that red Gundam. They're probably.
They're also looking for refugees,
Oh, that's a
apparently.
racism thing.
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I was
pull
like,
total
they
fascism
pull
there.
Neon because of the way she looks. Because physically, I'm going to go off on a limb and say that most of the people who lived in this colony are of a specific descent from some group of people on Earth because they were probably major corporations and countries involved. So they moved like 500
Hmm.
people from Russia or like 2,000 people from Russia as the starting population and then just let it naturally go from
Hmm.
there or whatever. Point is, because of that, they have, again, they're also on the outskirts. So they probably don't have a lot of like coming in, going out of people. So this population has probably been kind of static. And because of the war, tons of people would have been displaced, like in any war. So they
hmm
call anyone who doesn't look that way there. I would go out on a limb and say that they are, because this is written by the Japanese, like people from Japan. They might be leaning into Mugen from Samurai Champloo. He's from Roppongi, the Ryukyu Islands.
hmm
The Ryukyu Islands are part of a native population who were there, I think, before the people. They were like an Aboriginal population who had been there for a really long time before the main population you know as the Japanese showed up, and they had darker skin. Same thing, I think, with Okinawa. They are there's a like a bloodline type thing there where genetically they are slightly different to indicate that they also look different because they lived there so long and they are not they're like the say original, but just they were there longer, so they physically changed to match the
Hmm.
area. And the big marker is usually things like skin tone. Um, Japanese people are known for having light skin. People from certain areas, especially back in like 16th century, 15th century, had darker skin tones, indicating they were quote unquote different. And then there's probably a whole history of
Yes.
being racist because that's how humans work. Insert any version of that from around now, even where people are mad, and there's a whole conversation to be had about war refugees, but they've shown the police here to be incredibly heavy-handed, iron-fisted. Episode 1, where they show the colony, they are literally ripping roofs off and nearly killing people in the street because they don't think they're people. They don't care. They're poor, they're war refugees. They see them as less than because they're not from here being this specific side.
Yep.
So Nian probably looks like she's not from there, either because of how she dresses, her skin tone, her height. I don't know. I don't know the culture because they haven't bothered to explain any of that. But they tag her as a refugee and then go immediately into racist asshole mode and just start being shitty. And Machu's response is even better than Camille's. Would one of you like to take the...
Oh, kick him in the fucking nuts!
That man collapsed. I'm pretty sure he's only got one of what used to be two. Oh, yeah, that was also
like
not the
super
solution to the situation. Nian was essentially being like, "Don't do anything; they'll be shitty, and then they'll go away." And Machu's like, "No," just soccer punted him.
Oh,
this is why Machu's a good character.
But this entire that entire time they
funny.
were being investigated, the original pilot of the Gquuuuuux was checking Machu out because he recognized
His brain
her and was
recognized her,
trying to
but he
figure out
couldn't
if she
figure out
was-
if she's the one currently piloting it or if he just saw her in the hallway and she, like, if he doesn't know how related she is, so he winds up saving her from them and then holding her in place while they hide from the military police, and then they both watch the fight. And he's like, well, this will answer all my questions, because if I see the robot and the robot is using its psychoactive mode, then obviously it's not her. The psychomo system, then obviously it's not her, which is entirely incorrect for other reasons that we will get into when we get to that part. But yeah, essentially he is having that, I know you, but I don't remember why I know you. To be fair, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the amount of head trauma he has suffered in the last 3 weeks has been enough to probably scramble his brain a little. They've shown him getting punched in the face so many times. I don't know why they let him walk around the colony. He should be getting a CAT scan and laying the fuck down. Or walking around?
I
I don't know.
I want to say. I do have one thing I want to say. Trigger did an amazing job at doing the art and the music.
Is this Trigger?
That laundromat scene. I think it's Trigger.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
No, it's Kara.
Oh, sorry. All I'm saying is that...
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. They literally look like Trigger characters.
They do.
They are. It's practically the same
not
thing.
that different.
Okay, so I'm sorry. But...
Considering that Trigger split off from Gainax to form their own thing. Yeah.
Kara also is part of that.
That entire laundromat scene, gorgeous. The animation was gorgeous, and the music choice was so freaking good. I vibed out to that little snip there.
The one thing that Kara and Trigger both seem to have in common is that they know how to perfect style.
Oh,
and they do it very well.
When they want something to feel good and not just look good, they nail that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I could literally have them sitting at like the laundromat, kicking their legs back and forth as literally like a live lo-fi pod thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. The soundtrack to the show is going to be real solid.
We'll talk about the credits once we get to the end of the episode.
No, that wasn't the credits. That was mid-episode.
No. It's something that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So before we do that though, so let's we're trying to finish up the plot because I want to talk about Medabots.
Okay. Meta what?
Motherfucker. So.
Meta where?
Machu runs away, Nian runs away, but they run in separate directions. Yep. Machu's basically causing a distraction, that way Nian can get away.
Or vice versa.
But the fight is about ready to be scheduled, and if they end up missing the fight, then they're going to end up having to pay some fines.
So if you, apparently, if you don't have both of your pilots or both of your suits show up, you immediately are disqualified without even starting. You would insta-lose, and that would be bad.
Yeah, and also with the fines.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you don't get any of the prize money, which...
They're like, we'll be bankrupt if we don't, if they don't show up. I'm like,
yep.
So Machu is trying to hide, or she's running away when suddenly the original Gquuuuuux pilot grabs her and then takes her into a locker, and they both hide out in the locker. And he's basically just staring at her the entire time, like, "Hey, I just saved you." But
it's very clear that he doesn't do any social situations. He comes off as the kind of person. Well, they also show him dealing with other people really badly, because he's pretty much a child, like science experiment. So he's probably a
Mm-hmm.
teenager, and at best, he's had a few interactions over the years with like adults in the military who are there mostly just because they have to be. So he doesn't know like
Right.
social graces at all. He's basically useless outside of pilot big robot. So it's just him getting like punched in the face. He needs a handler. He's being very
The
stubborn
first
about it,
episode
and
shows he's a spoiled child.
Chalia Bull is okay with him essentially learning the hard way that like there's a way to do things and I know how to get us what we need. I'm doing all this on purpose, and he's like, "No, I must go off and be a hot-blooded main character." That's his problem. He thinks he's the main
Yep.
character. His name isn't Amuro. Sit the fuck down.
Okay, I will say this much. How big is that freaking locker, or how small
Oh,
is
it's
he?
huge.
The fact
That locker's massive. You could fit like a full floor-length prom gown in there.
I was-
Damn. That thing
they
was
are
he was
on,
standing
like-
up and he didn't touch the top.
Yeah, and he's over her, but
Mhm.
at points it literally looks like you can put another person between the two
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, no, you could
That being
fit...
said, they're both really skinny
Well,
fuckers.
okay, yes, they are, but I mean,
Yeah,
but even
still,
still,
it was
that even with perspective and all
in
that, they're
essence.
in no way like mashed together. They're comfortably standing with space between them. So,
and
That's
enough
true,
space for
yeah.
her to do the teenager arm folding. I don't care. I don't like
Yep,
you.
the,
movement.
Look off to the side.
yeah,
Like,
the eye roll. The fact that her base expression is "I don't fucking care" is actually kind of funny. I love
Well,
it.
okay, so she does that until he pulls out
Yep.
the phone and goes like, "So, are you the pilot?"
And then she just
I don't know what
completely
the fuck
falls
you're
apart.
talking
She's like,
about.
a pilot of what? I don't know that word.
Yeah, and then he pulls out the phone. He basically puts on the video for
Mhm,
the
feed
fight
for
to
the
come
fight.
on, and he's fully expecting it to be canceled. Then all of a sudden, you see that the fight's starting, and who's in the Gquuuuuux?
Naya.
Haro. Haro.
Yeah, Haro.
Always Haro.
You're both
wa-
right, but also shut the fuck up, Paul.
I want the final episode to just be the suit ejecting the main character, going off on a suicide mission, and Haro just saying, "Haro, sacrifice," and it just flies off and
I
saves
want
everyone.
Haro to have like a complete sentence with
Yep.
full sentience,
Yep,
being like,
just
Haro
starts talking like normal. Oh, you know what'd be fun?
goes like, "We are Haro."
No, man. Just either have Shuji die, and then like Shuji possesses the Haro, or have Char get downloaded into the Haro, and just him shit talking all of them and being like, "Pfft, I could do better than that," and just like trashing them the entire show.
You know what?
I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happens.
God, I would
You know,
love to
all
see
I
that.
see-
It'd be so
All I
fucking
see
funny.
is the Gquuuuuux transforming into a Haro with arms and legs. Final,
Oh
that's
my
the final
The
God.
true final
transformation.
form. It gets its final
Okay,
armor.
So just a side tangent on that real quick. In the SD Gundam mobile game that I've been playing,
Mm-hmm.
I unlocked a giant Haro mobile armor.
Nice.
It is
Fucking
fucking
great.
huge.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I love Haro.
it's
I love a Haro.
same here. I want to get a Haro model kit.
I think I have one or
I'm
two.
about to-
They've done cool ones over
So
the years.
here's another side thing. A long time ago in high school, when I
Long
was
time ago.
super obsessed with Gundam, I was writing a story called Mobway, which basically stood for mobile weaponry. And the idea was basically it was like Gundam meets Legend of Dragoon, and everybody would have
I
their
waifu
own
armor girls. Got it.
sort of. Everyone would have their own kind of like Haro unit, and they would basically expand and turn into armor that they would then apply, like Tokusatsu or fucking like Mega Man
So
style.
I don't know why you're
and they
saying
would
this
end
is
up
past
becoming-
tense. I would play that right now.
Yeah.
Right?
I would play that game
So
right
that-
now.
That was a story that I had initially drafted out like 9 fucking volumes for.
I
when
could
I was in high
see that
school.
as a solid side story, honestly, for like a Gundam thing. That's very on brand for them. They would have that come
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
to just sell pure like toys, and if it got big enough, it would get like a 5-minute anime PV or
I
some
might
shit.
just cut this part out from the podcast so I can start
Let's
reworking
let's not give Bondi too many ideas. They're doing fine. Got to keep some for us.
Although, you know what? Once it's listed on the air and everybody actually sees the published date, it's mine then. Anyways,
It's Bandai. They'll probably do it and only release it in Japan and won't give
Well,
a shit if you do
I
it over
mean,
here.
you can't do it with actual Gundam. They can do it with
Oh,
actual Gundam. You'd have to rework everything to make it original so you don't get
Well, like I
copyright
said,
shit.
I
when
wouldn't
does
make
that
it
Gundam
Gundam. I
tabletop
wouldn't even
game
call it
come
a
out?
Haro.
This
When
year.
does a Gundam
Should be in
tabletop
like a
come out?
month or
Okay.
two, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just called Mobway. It had
That's
nothing
cool.
to do with Gundam. It just borrowed aspects to it.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
Um,
inspired by. Fucking Pokemon is just Ultraman, so.
God, don't you fucking dare.
I'm not being
Uh,
weird. I'm quoting the creators of Pokemon.
we will talk about that later in Toku for 2. But anyways, so Nyan gets into the Gquuuuuux and she does not know how to pilot.
Yes, she does. She does the
She's
exact same
freaking out
thing the other character does. I don't like that they say they're good pilots. They're not. They have a cheat code. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Most people have to
Oh,
learn
you
how to
mean the fact
pilot it.
that Haru unlocked the Saikamu?
No,
Yeah,
actually, it
literally-
doesn't.
Yes,
The Haro,
he does.
Haro.
Yes, it does. It does. It literally.
It
It
does.
literally says unlocking. Haro
It
unlocking.
only
yeah.
unlocks after she's in the mobile suit enough that she taps into her new typey thing. It literally only works if you are a new type. It doesn't make you a new type. It only unlocks when you are a new type.
Well, I didn't say that. Didn't say that she became a new type. Just saying that she already motherfucker.
Yes, she already was
Haru
one.
still unlocked the Saikamu
Yes, but
system.
that's not how it. It's not.
always
You're
does.
doing the chicken and the egg thing. The egg is
I
her
didn't say
being
mother-
a new
God damn
type,
it.
not Haro doing everything for her. That's not how that worked.
No,
You
she's
still
just freaking
unlock the
about to
system. It
break
doesn't
the
matter.
console.
Yes.
She was about to break.
Can you
those-
stop saying that word?
What?
What?
Oh,
She
I
was
just
about...
wanted you to shut up.
She was about to freaking break that console. Literally.
Yes,
how
and that
hard
would
she
have
was
been
gripping
really
the
funny.
controls.
But I mean, she was going to die anyway, so I mean, you know, what the hell? I like
I
I
actually
like the
her
differences
pilot
between
style.
her and Machu. It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
It's a complete 180 in her
Oh, I
personality.
fucking love it. She's awesome.
She was piloting like Mikazuki.
So
Yes.
she at first was freaking out the entire time.
Mhm.
Then once Haru helps unlock the system,
No, that's
so I
not.
can
I need
be
to go
more
back and
specific.
rewatch this episode. I think we're misrepresenting this.
No, man. If I got Paul on my side, you know that means
No.
he actually paid attention.
Well, yes, he did, but that
Haro
doesn't mean that
unlocked-
both of you are correct. I will dig my heels
Haro
in here and go
unlocked
back and rewatch. I think she got desperate, unlocked her new typey thing, and Haro went, "Oh, you're ready," and essentially like a kitchen timer went ding, and then turned on the Gundam for her because now she can use it.
still resolves to
Okay.
the same thing.
No, it
Alright, I'm
doesn't.
gonna
There's
say
a
this.
difference.
I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I believe that Haro detected that she was about to unlock her new type potential,
Yep, which is what
and
it's referred to
assisted
as.
by her new type potential, and then unlocked the Saikamu
Yep.
so that it
She could talk to it.
maximize it.
Yep.
Or we can go with the entire, which is my personal belief. Haru activated the Saikamu because it didn't want to get blown the fuck up.
Nah,
That's also possible too.
I
but
prefer
no,
the first
I'm pretty
option.
sure it's the first thing. Yeah.
because that also makes
Anyways,
more
now that we're
sense
all
in
on the
the
same
character.
fucking page, god damn it.
Which one is it? Page 42 or 41? I get lost in our script.
Motherfucker, read Project 2025.
No, this
Anyways,
entire thing is scripted. We're cutting that from the show.
Yes, we are definitely cutting that.
Cutting that from
There
the
is
show.
no-
I can't go to jail right now, jackass.
Yeah, I don't need to get blacklisted, bro.
No,
You're
we're
not
good.
allowed to bring up that.
It's not that type of show. We're just talking about
Yeah.
space Nazis, okay?
Yeah.
My bad. My bad. Anyways.
No, we're talking about
Anyways.
space fascists. Watch your
No,
language.
no,
bro.
they
Watch
were
your language.
that this show is
Uh-uh,
based
no.
off of space Nazis. Come on, man. They have Prussian helmets for no
I don't-
goddamn
Nazis.
reason.
I don't need to
One
give-
of us is an asshole. Anyways,
I don't need to
That's
give
definitely
any more
Sean.
leverage.
I mean, you're probably right, but anyways, so she is now fully tapped in,
Yep.
and she does a complete 180 on her personality, and she is basically almost in a berserker rage until she slightly comes back to it, but then goes completely back to the 180 again, and then she grabs Shuji, who we now know is basically
He has a fever.
sick
Yeah,
from the
he,
flu.
he has.
Yeah.
He caught a flu probably from not eating food, because he's basically
just
dying
playing
of
his life.
starvation and like never. He
Yeah.
spends all of his money not on food, so his immune
Buying
system is
paint.
shit, and buying paint. So all he does is breathe in paint fumes.
He's probably huffing paint like Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie Day.
He's sitting there asking you about who mailed the goddamn letters, but the point is,
Hey man, you ever seen any ghouls around here?
he winds up having a fever and is essentially delirious for the entire fight, and is like half.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on. He's just there, and
Yeah.
as Paul said, she war bandits the fuck out of him. Grabs him by the head and just human shields him, and even the other team is like, dude, what the fuck?
But what's interesting is that using him as a human shield, literally, he has a shield of
Yeah.
It's the
Yep.
standard one that you would get with the RX-782, and it still works.
She wields
perfectly.
him instead of like, and then the way she takes the sword at the end from him and just proceeds to one-shot both of the enemy suits is really good.
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking
it
fight
was
is
cool.
amazing.
Except for the fact that she fucking murdered them.
No, it's fine. They don't show you her backstory. I think she's essentially she's got a lot more going on. I think she is a refugee, and I think she's experienced a lot worse shit than Machu, which is going to draw more of a line between them, showing you the two sides. Machu has spent the last 6 years being raised by someone who experienced the war but not experiencing it at all, and Nyan has done nothing but experience the fallout from the war as a child. So they're both two different versions of person who grow up post-war.
Okay.
So it's funny that you mentioned that.
During the beginning of her fight, when she gets in the suit and exits the space station, she actually references to her childhood, saying, "Oh, I'm back in space."
Yeah, I'm back in space, meaning she's experienced it before. And when she talked about flying to Earth, space for her is really normal.
She's not cold. Yeah, she also says, "I'm not cold this time."
Yeah.
So, Will, to backtrack real quick, the thing that you mentioned about the line dividing between her and Macho.
Yep. Next episode's gonna be good.
They end up doing the final moment where she ends up coming out from the hangar, and you see her walking out with Haro, and she's still in her. I want to say it's a plug suit. It's
basically that. The design is heavily inspired by.
It looks like a plug suit.
Plug suit design leaned into the suit design, but I mean they've always kind of been that way. So
it's definitely leaning on the Ava.
Yeah, with the bright colors, like it's all pink and white and stuff, and super styly looking. It's too pretty to be military grade.
She comes out there, and Machu's already freaking out, like, who the hell was in
I love how
suit?
mad she is.
And then when
she has personal ownership over this. So fucking mad.
But it's also because they got to pilot with Shuji.
Yeah, she's jealous.
And she only wants to have that as her connection.
She wants that as their thing.
Suddenly, she realizes it's Nian.
And she just gets confused.
Like, everything else just, and then credits.
I know. The next episode just going to be them moody and awkward around each other like teenagers.
You missed it.
You got that,
you missed it.
What?
You missed a big thing.
What?
Shalia Bull calling, saying that he wants to reach out to the his Xeon faction and have the second unit sent over.
Oh yeah, he did say that. Yep.
Oh yeah.
He mentioned. Yeah. So he said a name, but I couldn't tell if he was talking about a suit or a unit. But I don't know what he was saying. Was he mentioning like a military unit?
I think he was talking about a suit.
I thought he meant an actual unit, but we'll see.
Given how shows like this go, probably a robot, but who knows? He might have been asking for his personal unit, like his actual unit, because he clearly doesn't have it, or he would have just flown out there, slapped the children on their heads, and said, "Stop playing and get on the boat."
So then we get the credits. Now the credits have already been playing in the last few episodes, but this time I actually paid attention to it.
God damn! 5 episodes in, the fuck are credits?
Well, it's because the music is good, but then I'm like, I really am only into it just to see the preview for the next episode. I really like these credits. Right? The credit sequence is really cool.
So slice of lifey.
It is, and then it's interesting how they're doing this compared to what we got as the actual ending of the episode. So I'm wondering what exactly is going to happen, because obviously you can't take credit sequences for being
they're
canon
just
in
there
way,
for fun generally.
It's usually just for fun, yeah. But I am interested to see if they actually do manage to put any of that into play. As for the preview, I really am excited for the preview. The preview that we got is basically saying, oh, now we're going to have other people going after the Red Gundam because they found out where it's being stored.
Hmm.
So I think we're probably going to finally go to Earth.
I think we're finally
No,
going to
the episodes
have
could still be
everything erupt, and it's not going to be the monster of the week is the wrong word. I think they're going to break the formula they've settled into, and they're going to be like, all right, you've had your, holding the wall of the pool. Time for you to let go and go swim in the deep end. And they're going to have, like, everything's going to explode. So the white base is going to have to leave the side. They're going to be chasing after the Gquuuuuux, the Pomeranians. Everything's going to come to a head, and they're all going to have to make split decisions, which drives everyone into space. And then the show's going to go from there.
I'm excited for that. I'm really excited. Everything is just being thrown out, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh,
this is a really
we
good
don't
show.
have a masked
This is a
character
really,
yet.
really
Wait, what
good
the
show.
fuck?
It's going to
What?
be Shalliable.
He's not masked. You have to be masked at the start
He
so that the
will be
audience doesn't
masked.
know what you look like.
He won't be masked. It'll be somebody completely
Ooh.
different. There's no
You think
way.
he's going to call for a masked person, and that's who he called in?
No.
Watch it be fucking Amuro Ray.
Oh my
No,
god!
It's going to be
Yes!
It's going to be Shalliable.
It won't be Shalia. Shalia's already been set in stone as his own thing with the, cock
Dad.
infatuation.
He is dad.
Char,
He is
but-
clearly a
It's going to
dad.
be Shalliable. The new suit is going to be Shalia's suit, and it's going to be Shalliable putting on the mask so he can pretend that he isn't the dude going out there the same way.
That way he
that the
can.
dude-
Oh yeah. That way he's not Xeon.
Same way
He's
that
a
the
third
dude-
party.
Yeah, same way that the dude in Iron Blood Orphans did in the first season, where he got his friend fucked up and killed.
That was
Or-
fucked
Oh
up.
yeah, no,
Attempted-
Iron Blood
sorry,
Orphans is
attempted
messed
to
up.
kill his best friend.
IBO is
But-
messed up, man.
It's gonna.
I just remember how I just watched season 1. I am going to rewatch it and fully pay attention, but I definitely remember that scene.
Yeah,
Holy
he screwed
fuck,
that guy
was messed
over
up.
real bad. I feel bad for that
Oh,
guy.
man.
He like when you say he
But
took
any
his
final
life,
thoughts on Gquuuuuux
he
before we go
took
into Medabots?
his life.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, Meta.
All right.
Okay, so.
So, Medabots! All right.
Yeah, the show is
Guys.
over. We're not watching any more episodes. Nah. There is
am
no
not
season
watching the
3
next
because
season.
Paul will quit if we watch it.
Well, we are going to watch season 3, but I guess if Paul's not going to be a part of it, then he's just a little bitch. But anyways,
You know what? Suck a
guys,
dick, you homo.
we got the finale of season 2, which is technically the original finale of the original show. On a scale of 1 to 10, where did you think that this was going to go?
Like before I watched
Like,
it?
did you think it was just going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to do some final fights and that was it? Or did you expect the giant fucking kaiju robot battle
So,
that we got?
because they've already done it once,
I-
I expected the kaiju fight, kind of. Yeah, they already done that, so.
I didn't expect the size incongruities so many damn times. How
Okay, so yeah,
how
being on
I'm
model.
calling it Giga. I call it the Giga Medaby. How it went from being the size of a building to it then later on being the size of the goddamn city, and it made no goddamn sense to me.
Oh,
At
Yeah.
all.
See, a show like
It
this,
was
you can
basically
do
like
that.
the size of an Ava at that
Yeah,
point.
it was like,
It was
well,
like,
it's like, is it 4
oh.
stories tall or 40? Those are different numbers. The 0 is either
Yeah,
before
like-
or after the 4, but it's very important.
It didn't realize what it wanted.
Now,
I literally turned
Alright.
into, what the hell am I watching? Why did Dr.
Alright.
Aki actually build a giant Medaby
oh yeah,
instead of just
like a
building
crazy
a
fanboy.
giant turret? Like a giant turret, because that's all that freaking Medaby did.
Oh
was
yeah,
just
just
stand
kept
there
shooting,
and shoot.
and then shot its arm out.
That
Yeah.
Medaby wasn't worth shit.
Oh, it was
Oh my
terrible.
god. So before we go into that, let's talk about episode 51.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Waking
shit.
to a Dream. Where androids dream of electric sheep.
And the fact that they are
So-
aliens traveling across the universe, landing on Earth, inhabiting robots, getting lost to battle, then losing everything, then being dug up by the next race that becomes sentient on the planet, and then becoming their playthings and losing their memories, and then gaining their memories, and then almost going haywire, and then they get saved, and ooh, aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the plot of episode 51. In it.
Yeah. And Henry does an entire speech where he
Oh, yeah.
breaks his literally halfway through the speech. You can tell that the voice actor was like, "Oh shit, am I supposed to be doing this in the Phantom Renegade voice or Henry's actual
Yep.
voice?"
Yep, I
halfway-
noticed that. I'm like, what the
Oh.
fuck?
Halfway through, he's like,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
no. Yeah, it's supposed to still be Phantom Renegade." Like, he's like,
Yeah.
oops. Yeah, no, it's Phantom
So the
Renegade
big-
voice."
the beginning of the episode, it's Dr. Meta Evil, doing his little ranting,
Yeah.
and he's yelling at Icky because Icky's trying to do what he can to save the day.
Yep.
He ends up commanding basically a bunch of missiles to be fired at him. I'm like, what the fuck?
Murder that child.
Literally.
I know.
Like,
oh,
oh
it's
my
so
God.
good. The biggest threat
and
to
then
him is
we
an
get-
8-year-old.
Pretty much. It's so fucking weird.
Okay.
And so
Also had one thing. I wish they would have showed us more of Medabots' soldiers. Because those black units, they look fucking badass. Like, when he was doing the general thing, there were black Medabot units standing behind him.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Wow,
that. honestly.
did you just space out during the entire backstory of the robots?
Yeah,
No, I just don't remember the black.
Oh,
units.
to
were
draw
like
a color
the-
contrast.
I remember the fight
yeah.
that he had that apparently is like a giant eternal conflict with Rakusho.
It's a philosophical debate. It's the two of them fighting over the idea of I'm the general in charge of the forces, we have to fight, and Rakusho basically telling him, we are lost to battle, stop that, our race needs to stop doing this. And he's like, no, we must fight, because Metabee is the general, and that's his thing. All he does is fight. Goku.
Yeah. So
Yep.
what's interesting about this entire thing is that basically Metabee is in like stasis
Mhm.
lock, trying to experience his
Yep.
past or whatever, along with War Bandit. War Bandit is I don't know what he's doing. He's not even there.
They don't even show anything.
But Icky gets the idea that he needs to get Metabee to snap out of it, so he ends up getting close to it, ends up touching Metabee, and then somehow
Power
gets
of
inside his
friendship.
dream.
Psychic bond! Yeah!
Now, it's interesting. He goes in, and then he talks to Metabee, saying, hey, we need you. We need you to save the world. But I want to live in my fantasy. I want to live where I actually mean something. But you mean something in real life. I don't care. Get out of here. Go away, Icky. Never come back. And then as Icky turns away and starts walking, Metabee's like, man, this life sucks.
Yeah.
Icky, come back!
Like, and I honestly think that there was more to it, because he's literally holding a dead brass in his arm. Metabee's holding a dead
Yeah.
brass in his arms. I'm pretty sure he wasn't saying, I want to stay here under my tree. No, I'm pretty sure...
There's no way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the original dialogue was, I want to stay here with her. I love her. I don't want to lose her. And him just realize, and like, him going, no, I'm not going to lose another person I care about. I'm going to leave with you, Icky.
Yeah.
I think that was the real dialogue, but because it's a
I
kid
still am
show-
very much looking forward to Sean peeking in and telling us what the original dialogue for this show looked like, because
So-
it's gonna be wild.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now that we're done with season 2 of the show, I do plan on starting to watch the subs. That way I can go ahead and, crack into that.
Sadly, you have to buy 2 versions of this show on Blu-ray just to get those.
That is correct. Luckily, I do have those because, haha, discretionary
Frustrating.
income when I can. But
Called an obsession hobby, but
hey, it's called a gold mine.
Oh, yeah. I also
Hey,
wrote
hey.
down in my notes, what doesn't Icky's dad know how to do?
Oh yeah, he can fly a fucking jet,
Yeah,
a military fighter jet.
All right, so that brings us to the next episode then, because it all is all part of that. The next episode is full of a lot. And I mean
Oh, a lot
a
happens.
lot.
The last
So
10
this
minutes,
one's
my
called
friend.
Metabee's Last Stand.
Yeah,
Guys,
2 pages of notes on
this
one.
episode is fucking nuts. And I don't mean that in the loosest sense. I mean, it is balls to the wall crazy from beginning to end.
So much happens
but it's
so
also
fast.
very stupid.
It's great. It's exactly the show.
They
It's
jump
wild and
every
crazy and just
single-
really dumb.
It's the epitome of Metabots.
They
Straight
jumped
up.
every
Yeah.
single shark there was on a TV
Oh,
show.
no,
at
they-
once.
They've mounted a rocket to their back and they wily coyoted into the sky as the sharks wept tears of joy at the beauty of the action.
It was
So,
like, oh, what
Dr.
gimmick can we throw in? Oh, let's throw this gimmick in. Oh, what? Oh, wait, no, we haven't done this 3 times yet.
So the Dr. Meta Evil decides to unleash his giant Metabot
Yep.
called Babby Blue. Not
Oh,
Baby
yeah.
Blue.
No,
Babby Blue.
no. It's Babby Blue. There's no E at the end and there's 2 B's in Babby.
Yeah.
All I could think of
It's
when I
great.
saw it
I
was
love it.
that thing
It's
reminded
gonna-
me of Akira.
It
Oh,
basically
heavily.
did, yeah. It borrowed from so much in this episode.
I know.
It's insane.
So much happened. It had an umbilical cord in one of the
It
shots.
did.
It was so
Yeah.
wrong, so disturbing. was
Like, what in the world
that's
were
so
they thinking?
dumb.
Good
What-
lord.
I want to
They were
see the
like,
full version of Babby Blue because they never zoomed out enough for me. I want to
well,
know what it looked
No.
like.
I think they were
I
trying to design the most disturbing Medabot possible. And they're like, oh, what can we do
Yep.
to give children nightmares and make them think, ooh,
So
you're a
technically, I
bad
think he
person.
calls it a Medabot, but he controls it just like a giant robot, and he's a cyborg, and neither one of them have a medal. So is it a Medabot?
Well, it was interesting the way how they did this particular moment because it made me feel like that other kaiju episode that we watched.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought that they were just going to do the same exact thing
Yeah.
until we get the giant Metabee.
Until the
Um,
giant skyscraper rips itself in half, and inside is a massive Medabot.
so
What was
fucking
your guys'
dumb.
favorite part of the giant robot? Because other than the fact that it's basically Voltron where they each get a piece,
I wrote
my
that.
favorite part was the giant Meta Watch.
Metaphors! So, before we get into the giant Metabee, we see the chick seller again.
Oh,
The
yeah.
chick seller
Yes,
decides
we help
to
Mr.
speak to the referee.
Mm-hmm.
And the referee,
Mm-hmm.
he is completely soured by
He
the
broke.
idea that
He
he
is
was
They broke him.
basically...
He was
Yeah.
just
They broke the poor man. He just doesn't know what to believe anymore. If the Metabot Federation is fallible, so too is he, the Mr. Referee.
But the chick seller manages
Oh,
to
yeah.
completely coax him without trying to sell him a chick.
and
Which is
not
weird.
I was
regretting
shocked.
it
I
10
know.
seconds
He did it
later.
altruistically. I think he's just at this point given up on trying to sell things, and he's like, I'm a consultant.
I'm
a
homeless
life.
now, so here you go.
He's,
Don't
I feel like
destroy
he's
my
a
city.
life coach. He's just one like viral social media post away from becoming incredibly wealthy.
Yep.
So then we end up getting Giant Metabee,
Yep.
which Dr. Aki unveils,
Hmm.
and it does beg the question, why did you even design this in the first place?
Oh,
They
yeah, and
ask-
also
they
used
ask
the
him that.
tagline that like 5 seconds later.
And what was his response? Do you remember his response?
Oh yeah, it's cool.
That's it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm like, God damn it.
It's cool.
More
Like,
Metabots, more power, and I was like, "Wow, you
Literally,
worked that
they
into
say
the
that,
show."
and I'm like,
I know.
motherfucker.
I was so
Metabee
surprised they
says
worked that
that,
into
and
the
I'm like,
show.
oh, God.
I didn't think it would happen. I was like, "Wow, impressed."
So when Metabee gets put into the Metabot, do you remember what his line was? Whoa, where are I now?
Yeah.
Oh, this
Ooh,
episode is so
translation
good.
issue.
This is
Not
this-
where am I, where
oh.
are I?
No, okay, real quick. The tonal whiplash between Metabots are an alien race who ripped themselves out of physical form, became robots, and got so lost to conflict that they destroyed their entire culture and like history. Immediately to giant Metabee.
Yep.
Mhm.
God, I love this show so much.
Oh,
It did
It
bring me
hasn't-
back
Oh.
from hating it. I will say that.
God, that's so fucking crazy.
so many fucking
So-
aliens.
Oh,
so many, fucking
questions. I have
aliens.
so many questions. None of them get answered. None of your questions will be answered.
It only gets
Just-
more
just
confusing
more
towards
questions.
the end.
I
So-
literally wrote down so many little things. I'm like, what the fuck? And I did say this is the most elaborate entrance for Mr. Referee, and also the most budget-friendly entrance for Mr. Referee. Him standing in front of a spotlight, but how it looks.
Oh yeah,
is
like a bat
he's-
signal where it makes
Yeah.
a giant shadow of him in the sky.
Yeah,
So
like,
he's
Oh,
giant too.
Honestly, I really like that because I'm like
I do
is
too.
It's the
that
best.
is the best way for
Yeah.
him to come in.
The only
Yeah.
the only thing more Metabot than that would have been a
More power.
giant Mr. Referee robot that
Yeah.
referees the
Oh
fight.
my God.
That would have been the
I
only
would have
thing
loved to
more
see that.
Metabot is like if one of those satellites flies itself out of orbit, crashes to the Earth, and then just like unfolds, and it's a giant container filled with a like half-size Metabot that's just Mr. Referee. He jumps in it, climbs up a building, and starts refereeing the fight from up there.
I
That would be
have
the
loved to
only
have seen
thing
that.
more Metabot than what they did.
Damn, now I want to
So-
watch Zoids versus.
Speaking of referees,
So-
yeah.
With the way that the giant Metabee shows up, there's a lot of destruction. And I wrote down the note. I hope the Metabot Corporation has insurance to help the city. 'Cause
That's
there's a
fine.
lot
It's
of
like
destruction.
the second or third time they've had to deal with a giant robot. They got a Dr. Aki living there, and he's just like, "It's cool, guys. We'll pay for it."
You also got to think, like, if they've gone through this much destruction, especially prior with the Metabot 10 Days of Destruction,
Oh,
or
10
10 Days
Days
of
of
Darkness,
Darkness.
that they
hmm
probably would have gotten rid of the Medabots at that point, but I guess not.
So funny you
Oh,
should say that. Once we finish this, we're going to talk a little bit. I learned a thing, and we'll talk a
Okay.
little bit about what I learned about the production of this show and some other stuff.
Okay, cool.
okay. All I have
So,
to say is that I love how the fact that they have fighters, fighter jet pilots,
Mm.
and
hmm
the jet fighters have their Medabots, who are fighter jet Medabots, as their wingmen.
Yeah, yeah,
that is honestly pretty
yeah.
cool.
That was pretty cool. I like that.
My
That was
entire
really
thing is,
cool.
weren't those fighter Medabots, those jet fighter Medabots, 10 seconds ago offline?
Yes.
Oh, if we're going to talk about that, do you guys remember when Similodon got completely destroyed, had no body, and then literally just magically had a body again? Did either of you figure out why? I couldn't.
Metaphors! That's why.
Okay.
No,
Uh,
he just magically gets in the when they're fighting against Dr. Meta Evil inside the arena. Similodon is being held by Koji, and then he just magically has a completely not annihilated body
Yep.
shattered into pieces again, out of nowhere.
I'm I'm betting anything Koji has multiple bodies.
Just
Oh, yeah.
lying, just sitting around because he's
Koji's so
fucking
fucking
Yeah.
rich.
rich. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he's
rich.
rich. Exactly. That makes sense.
He's not Karen rich, but we've seen what money can do in this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing like our world. No, no, no. In their
All right.
world, you could do anything.
Yeah.
So, Giant Metabee originally can't work until he
Mhm.
gains the power of friendship
Yep.
No,
with
no, no.
other Metabots.
Admit
No,
it.
no. He needs
Just
the
say it.
power of. Oh no, we're not going to get there. No, no. Hold on. I'll save that reveal. Keep talking. We're not there yet.
So, in order to gain all that, he ends up basically shouting to the world, asking for everybody Goku style, lend me your energy.
Spirit
Oh,
bomb. He's got to use the
Yes,
spirit
I literally
bomb.
wrote down Spirit Bomb.
Metabomb.
I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my god, this is just a spirit bomb. You are literally
It
just
really is.
aping the spirit. You're not even trying
So-
to pretend. You are 100% just doing the spirit bomb. That's all
So
this
before
is.
they even do the Spirit Bomb
Oh my
portion,
god.
they fire off all the standard Metabee weapons.
Mhm.
None of them work.
They don't do
And
jack
I'm
shit.
like, I wonder why. Oh, because the invincible bad guy is invincible.
Yep.
No
Oh.
shit.
Nope,
I
he needs
loved-
the power of friendship and love to defeat him. Love,
I
love,
love-
10 Kyo Ken.
I love the entire. Oh, Metabee, use Rocket Fist.
That was good.
Oh,
That was
Oh,
funny.
that
That
whole
was-
moment was
That
really
was
funny.
fucking. They animated that really well. Very Dygard vibes. Very
And-
Dygard
oh my
vibes.
God.
Do you remember what Metabee said when he got his hand back?
Oh, I forgot what it was. Oh my gosh. Was it? Oh, now that I'm fully armed.
Yes, he
Exactly.
did.
Yeah, that I'm fully armed. Let's go. I'm like,
Okay.
And I love Dr. Aki's line. Like, what are you gonna do? What is he gonna do now? You lost an arm. I recycle, reuse, recycle.
Reduce,
Yep.
reuse,
Reduce,
recycle.
reuse, recycle.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Also, when it comes to animation, I was very impressed. They actually bothered to animate the fist shooting jets of fire forward to actually like propel itself back onto the arm stump. Usually they don't
Yeah.
do that. In classic classic anime, they have the the arm essentially shoot back fist first, and then it just like spins and slams into the elbow. They actually
This
have this
episode has all
built
the budget in
sensibly.
both the coolest ways and the weirdest ways.
Yeah, in all the
yeah.
weirdest ways too. Yeah, we haven't even
So,
gotten to the weird parts
Babby
yet.
Blue becomes Babby Boom.
Yep. Kaboom!
And then it just gets into a whole lot of weirdness.
It gets
right
really
after
weird
that.
really fast, and it doesn't explain anything. Nope.
Who wants to discuss this weirdness first?
Brandon.
Oh yeah, here we
a
go. Do you guys
one-shot
remember?
random
Oh, no, hold on,
character.
hold on. Do you guys remember Brandon? Because I remember
Yes.
Brandon.
Yeah,
I do.
Timu Digimon Matt.
Yes,
He's that little soccer kid's
Yep.
brother.
He's
Older
Timu
brother.
Digimon Matt.
Ugh.
he
He-
just sort of shows up.
He doesn't show up. He freaking ninja leaps on
Yep.
top of a fucking building
hmm
and is like,
He's all like smiling
You
and
know-
happy in that weird like I'm high kind of way, but he's not.
not even like I'm superior to all of you. Like
Yeah.
even
He
it-
was.
it was so fucking stupid. It
Do
was
you remember how he showed up in the original, his original entrance? He was the fucking one-off, 10-second, not even character.
Yeah, who
Of that episode where he's getting all the fried ball,
the fried
tentacle
squid?
balls or whatever.
Yeah, the fried squid.
No,
Squid
that's
balls?
not his
And
wait,
he
is that
shows
the
up
first episode?
as. Wait, no,
No, that's
No,
the
the
not the
first
second
first
time.
one.
episode's the
Is
one with Samantha being
Yeah.
obsessed with the soccer
That's
kid.
it.
Yeah,
Right. My
Samantha
bad.
falls in
I
love with
kept
him, but then he
forgot.
shows up later and Squid Girl falls for him.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
he's just out here getting all the chicks.
So they literally set him up just for those two
Yep.
episodes, and then for the finale, and it's like, why?
Out of nowhere.
Why?
And then everyone's like, Brandon, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second, I've seen this episode before. He's a fucking alien.
He
How
is.
many? And I was like, how many fucking
he's
aliens
a gray.
are in this goddamn show?
He is a classic, like 2 foot tall, gray skinned alien with big head and big bulging eyes. He is a classic TV gray. But that's not even the
Don't
weird
forget
part.
who came with him, Dr. Hushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out Dr.
And
Hushi
Dr.
left with aliens. He did the Elvis thing, I guess. And, and he just, I guess, lives with aliens, disappeared off of Earth, is totally fine, talks to them and goes, hey, I see you guys having some trouble. I really hope that you guys can work this out. Hi, Rakusho, how's it going? Doesn't say anything else to him, and then proceeds to just teleport back into the ship and fuck off into another planet.
Wait.
Oh,
He
wait,
also
you
takes
missed
Dr.
the other
Meta
alien.
Evil
Oh, he
with him.
does. He takes
You
Dr.
missed the
Meta Evil
other
with him because he's like, I should probably take this guy. He's causing a lot of trouble for you. My bad.
Oh,
But
you missed the third
Paul,
alien.
were you going to mention the cat?
Yeah. You
Oh
missed
yeah,
the
the
third
cat's
fucking
also
alien.
okay. So not only that, the cat is an alien. The cat was wearing a helmet that let it talk. That helmet had a Medabot medal in it.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's so
And
fucking
apparently
weird.
explains-
the cat
None
was
of that
an
is
original
explained.
Nothing.
Mandalorian.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mandalorian's
Is it
also
a
the name of the
Mandalorian?
Medabot race. They're called Mandalorians. Never said it in the entire show. They drop it once in the final episode.
Yep.
Also,
I
yes,
mean,
they
this
are.
How
episode's
many
bonkers.
fucking aliens are there?
I love how
this
the
goddamn-
episode before is super weird, and you're like, "Oh shit, Medabots are aliens. They're another species." And then this episode is like, "Yeah, there's actually like a bunch of alien races, and like they're the third." Because you have humans, you have
Yeah.
Mandalorians, and then you've got whatever the fuck Brandon is.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was so fucking
I know.
weird. But you know what wasn't weird?
Hmm?
It was really funny right after that. The
Oh.
disbandment
Oh,
of
yeah.
the Rubber Robo Gang.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh my gosh. Squid Gut's going, I need to get a job so I can move out of my parents' basement.
Yeah, that's a very believable line. I believe he lives with his parents.
Yeah.
Still, 100%.
Yeah. But
Ugh.
do you remember what happens with Sea Slug?
Sea Slug
Mhm.
and Miss Starfish.
Yep.
Whoa. Who's Miss Starfish? What are you talking
Mm-hmm.
about?
Alright, sorry. Sea Slug refuses to leave the Rubber Robos and stop trying to conquer the world.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Caviar
Mm-hmm.
chooses to join him,
Yep.
even though
They're the only two
they
members
won,
now.
technically.
They're the only two members of
And-
the organization, by the way. Everyone else left because Medieval's gone.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
and then she refuses. She chooses to join him.
Mhm.
He rips off one of his antennae,
And gives it to her.
antennae, puts it on her, and says, "This is our engagement ring."
Mhm.
And
God damn it, so fucking
I
weird.
know.
and then she goes, "We will rule the world together, and our first thing is to rule the world by running a rubber suit store."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then she calls herself Miss Starfish.
Yep,
Oh.
Miss
Which I thought
Starfish.
was really fucking
It is.
funny because I'm like, I get it that she went to call herself from caviar to starfish. Cool.
Yep.
Starfish also has a completely different
Yep.
connotation in
Yep.
some regards. So I'm like, wow.
I mean, okay,
was
but
this?
also, what were the other three members doing after these two had their little love declaration?
They were watching
Yep,
them.
they were.
Yeah,
they were,
they were just watching. They were
Yep,
crying.
they're all happy that the two of them finally got the happy ending. They're like, "Oh, we're so proud of our little sea slug and caviar finally getting together." It's adorable.
Then Henry shows up,
Oh yeah,
and he just casually admits at the very end, "Oh yeah, I'm Phantom Renegade." Huh.
No, he doesn't.
no, he
doesn't
he
admit it.
slantedly
He literally gives him a-
refers to it,
Yeah, that's admitting.
and then he winks
Oh,
at the
he's so
camera.
fucking stupid.
Yeah, I was so goddamn annoyed.
And then he
by
gives-
that. Like everybody
Yep,
knew.
and then he gives War Bandit a fresh everything because War Bandit got wrecked in the fight, and then Victor essentially has exercised all the like hatred and bad shit from the 10 Days of Darkness finally, and has
Yep.
decided that he's just going to straight up be a fighter, which does kind of make sense, especially with how this show is written. It's meant to be a thrill of the fight, thrill of skill, that sort of thing, sporting. Like it's very sportsy in that way, but a lot of shows that involve fighting are like that. So it makes sense he would essentially do that. it's not even the weirdest thing in this episode. And then it just ends with him and War Bandit facing off against Icky and Medaby, and it just kind of like
In the
free
middle
freezes.
of all the city
Oh yeah,
destruction.
they're standing on
Oh,
rubble. They're literally fighting on a chunk of like concrete.
Oh, my
David's
entire thing,
agreed!
Yep, and
my
Mr.
entire
Referee.
thing is, my entire thing is, Medaby has literally been fighting for almost 2 days now, 2 days straight.
I mean, yeah, because it becomes night
but
and then
he's-
it becomes day.
He's juiced by the power of
Yeah,
friendship.
yeah, he's just 100% juiced on friendship, full on friendship, like a Dinobanoid.
Oh, and
Oh
that
my God.
freaking Medaby, that giant Medabot, that giant Medaby got hit for 100%
Yes, it
damage
did.
3 fucking times.
And then it explodes on the third time.
Ugh,
Yeah.
That's like
Uh,
100% damage
I-
throughout all. Like,
I love how goofy this show is. It's so fucking silly and so wild and insane. I love it. It's great.
Yeah. So that episode, that finale, bonkers.
Yep,
I
yep.
liked it, but
Oh
bonkers.
yeah, I know.
They
Oh,
used
boy.
everything.
Yep.
They used everything.
They're gonna explain.
If
They're gonna
there was a
explain
gimmick-
exactly zero of that. By the way, the next episode we get will reference none of it and pretend like it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, it does. It's a brand new Medabot company.
Yep. They pretend like it never happened. There's a reason for that too. May I share what I have learned?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this is the first and I think only Medabot anime for multiple reasons. It is not based off of the game Medarot 1. It is based off of the game Medarot 2. Medarot 1 had a main character named Hikaru Igata. Or
Oh
Agata.
yeah, we talked about that before.
Medarot 1 is is the original game, and that was Henry's story, 10 Days of Darkness, all that shit. This is based off the second game. The third season actually exists halfway because the third game kind of was in development when season 3 of this anime, I guess, was being made. So they borrowed from each other. So like some of the choices made in that third season kind of influenced, and including going as far as to take like voice lines and a few other things, and wound up in Medarot 3. So that's kind of where that is. Also, fun fact, I found out that the Medabots fan base are so awesome that they've essentially been going back and translating a bunch of the old games. So if you want to go play the first couple of Medabot games, there are fan translations for some of that right now. Because the fans, I mean, they never released them here, and they've given up on our entire market. They basically won't release anything outside of Japan. So the fans are doing it. So you can
Well,
go
they
back
ended up
and
getting
play a bunch of them.
They ended up getting some for the GBA back in the day that did release in the West. They
About
were even
2
on
or
the Wii U
3.
Virtual Console.
And that's it. Those are the only things that have ever released here officially.
Well, then there was also the GameCube game.
What?
There was a GameCube game?
Yeah, there was a GameCube game. I think it's actually just
Maybe?
called Medabots.
Yeah,
See,
and that might be one of the fighters. But when what I'm talking about here is the games that, like, one, the anime partly is inspired by or based off of for storyline.
Yeah.
And then two, the ones that push the franchise forward, not like side projects that were kind of celebration. We're talking about, like, think of this like the numbered releases or like the Pokemon mainline releases compared to side stuff. Side stuff is cool, but the mainline ones are the ones that push the whole franchise forward. These are the mainline Medarot games that pushed the franchise forward and founded it. The anime happened because the first 2 Medarot games did well and people liked them. The release we got here was a remake of Medarot 2 because it had done well and they had enough money, they had enough, like, you know, groundswell and all that they remade it, and that was the one that wound up getting translated to come over here as the Game Boy Advance game.
Right.
So
I think Natsume ended up doing it, didn't it?
I think so. I'd have to go back and look. But I do think it's cool that Medabots still has fans who really like it over here. It just doesn't have enough wide-ranging appeal to convince those companies to really take a risk and start, like, full-on translating some of the games, because I want to put the games in the category of, like, kind of RPG-ish, where there's a lot of parts, item descriptions, so it wouldn't be cheap to
Builds.
translate those, because there's a lot of menu. Menu costs money.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I could see that being expensive, and I get why games like that don't come over here for robot franchises because robot franchises live and die on customization and like cool robot designs and shit. So like
Yeah.
I get why there's only one of I was surprised that I played LBX Little Battlers Experience, which isn't even the original game on
Mm.
3DS because the original game was a totally different one. The one I played is or no, that is the original game. That's the one based off the first season of the show, which isn't even season two, which isn't even season three, which goes farther into the future of that world where they it's at a military school where they're training to fight actual battles as soldiers and they're using military versions of the LBX robot things. So like they only translated one game. I was surprised that even came out here and it did terribly and became very cheap and easy to get. But
Mm.
uh I'm surprised when stuff like that makes it because those are very like niche. They're very in Japan. There's a lot of them. Almost none of them come over, and they never do well enough to like found a franchise. The only thing that ever came close is I would say Yokai Watch because that was basically Pokemon, and the anime and stuff did well enough to capture that whole feel that a bunch of the games came out here. And that's about the closest you get. And the reason that's not the same genre, but the reason I mention is because they're the same demographic.
Type.
It's
Yeah.
they're the same type. It's you're aiming at kids, you're clearly trying to start them on a path and then keep it going. So it's that demographic, it's that feel. And that doesn't work as well whenever it comes over. So we wind up not getting them until years later when fans will translate something. And before I even played the 3DS game in English, I found people, because it was a PSP game originally, there's your dating for you. It came out on PSP. The 3DS version is a re release of it because the original version was a PSP game and there were people trying to translate it. I actually wound up downloading it and trying to get it to work, but it wasn't a complete translation and it was not fully working when I did it. So.
Mm.
Oh damn.
No, I liked LBX a lot. I really enjoyed the show. It was just
LBX was it
none
was
of the stuff came
cool
over.
and
I only watched it
interesting.
subbed. I never watched a dub for it. I don't even know if the anime came out in America. I watched it as it aired.
Honestly, I only remember LBX because that's when we were working. I believe when we were working at BAM,
A
and
little bit after that.
you it might have been a little bit after, yeah. And I had only heard about it because of you.
Yep, that makes
Hadn't heard about
sense.
it
I think
since.
I'm the only one who ever watched it too. I don't think anyone else
Yeah.
did. I
I
don't think
watched a
even
couple
Andrew watched it.
episodes. I watched a
Hmm.
couple episodes of Little Battlers. It was interesting. It's just it came out to me. It came out in a time when anime was very hard to find.
Yes.
When
Certain
anime was
anime.
very
I
so,
watched that on sites that are not official or legitimate. I was the only way for me to watch it. And I had to switch sites at one point because I couldn't find that new season. I had to go to a different website to find it.
and it got hard. It got really hard to find anime, and at the same time, it was before the birth
I
of
mean, it's still
streaming.
hard.
But it
Yeah,
came
well,
out
now it's hard for
before.
different reasons,
Yeah,
but
before it came out before the birth of streaming, so you
yep.
had to catch it on TV
Hmm.
or
Or
pirate it.
find a place that hosted it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it got hard. Literally, there was
Paul, I'm gonna need you to stop talking about getting hard.
it. It was difficult because of a lot of internet services where a lot of internet providers were getting really on
That
people's
made Will giggle.
cases with about stealing and pirating anime and using torrents.
Well, that was when, I mean, they still are. They're still mad about it. I still fully believe in a friend of mine's assertion that piracy for music 100% harms the industry and artists. Piracy for movies, anime, and TV shows does not because it's not consumed the same way. If someone goes to the trouble of pirating it, they probably weren't going to buy it in the first place because they don't care enough. But if they watch it, they talk about it to their friend, and then their friend watches it, their friend might purchase it. And that it's free marketing. I know they don't see it that way. I understand why they don't see it that way. I understand the concept is radical and it's like, well, if we do that then yes, you shouldn't necessarily allow free streaming, but the idea of piracy killing the industry, there are still like people who want to buy stuff. Even with streaming, there's still people who purchase physical media. It's a convenience thing. And especially at that time, having access to the anime at all, like period, was a thing. Like LBX, I don't know if it ever got dubbed. And then
It
like I
did.
was watching sometimes you'll be watching a show and then people will stop because they'll be like, okay, an official translation, this one has been pulled. It's coming out in America, and then you had to wait 2 years for them to get around to where you were 100 episodes in. And it's just that's not how that works. Simulcasting and simuldubbing was when, which didn't happen until a couple years later, really. That was really when like it started to work because if you make it convenient, people will do it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's as harmful as they all believe.
Yeah, but at the same time, they do not make it easy for. The biggest issue is the fact that they did not make the shows easy to find. And that's the reason why people will pirate it because
Hmm.
if I'm trying to watch a show, I don't want to have to search on 9 different websites to find it.
Yeah, find
And
out
then
who's streaming what now. Is there are entire websites dedicated to that because nobody knows anymore.
yeah, and then at the same time, I can't buy a lot of anime
Oh,
because
yep,
the
it's
prices
going
are
away.
up there, and a lot of times there's so many license agreements with so many different companies that you can't purchase it because it's not
Nope.
there. Too many people are fighting over who's gonna own it to the point where there's shows that could literally make money from people buying the episodes, but they're too busy fighting over who's gonna own it so that they can make money off of it that those shows never get renewed.
They would rather spite everyone else and not let anyone have it than let one of their competitors make some money. It's an all or nothing gamble to them. They see it as either I make all of the money off of this or I make none of the money. And that doesn't
Or nobody
help.
makes any money on it.
That's yeah, because then everybody gets zero, and you can tell me that it's you starving out your opponent, and conceptually I get it, but it's also stupid because
And they kill studios that
we're not
way.
talking about stuff like chairs and tables and carpets. It's you're talking about art and you're talking about TV shows. If you've all decided that these things are valueless, then just fucking release them. Just put them on a website where you don't care, and then you get some sort of a benefit from local authorities for that, like, tax breaks
So
and stuff.
it,
Like, who cares
it's
at that
funny that
point?
you mentioned that because you know the new show Dandadan.
Yeah,
So that is on Netflix,
right?
but apparently it's also on YouTube for free.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's
Like
Yeah,
it's
officially? Like from that
yeah.
yeah,
studio? Holy
yeah.
shit. Did Netflix piss them off?
I
No,
don't know,
no.
but like I went searching for it because I saw this website the other day that said that there was a certain anime that either old or new that you can actually find for free, and I have managed to find a lot of older anime, some retro stuff on
Yep.
there for free.
Hmm. For
But
real. Like actual
Dandadan,
posts.
I found the entire first season on there for free.
It's
It's
Crunchy's
weird.
way of cutting streaming ability because it's Crunchy's YouTube channel that has Dandadan.
It
Oh.
wasn't crunchy.
It wasn't Crunchy? Because I
Uh
know
uh
Crunchy has been doing that. They've been giving their stuff to Netflix and then at the same time it being posted on YouTube after they've
Yeah, it
Just
had
to,
the
definitely
full.
wasn't crunchy.
just to screw them over.
It
Yeah, it definitely wasn't crunchy.
Huh.
So yeah,
Oh.
guys, look for your anime. Sometimes it might be on YouTube.
Oh,
Um,
actually, YouTube has. I'll find the playlist. YouTube has all of Medabots on there in an actual playlist in order.
they don't. They have certain ones from season one, but it's just like with
Oh,
how we experience that on Amazon. Unless you have specific things, they might actually have season two and season three completely Japanese, but with no subs.
I saw.
So
Oh, raw cut.
yeah,
I saw
yeah,
the dub version of season 2 in
yeah.
actual
They
order.
that's interesting.
Might
I'll
be a
have to take
fan
a look.
channel.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was a fan
because
channel because it wasn't anyone
um
official.
oh, by the way, Paul, you did show something in the Discord that we have, which I finally looked at, and that was really cool. The fan animation of Medabots Metabee.
Oh, I sent that. One of
Apparently,
that.
some person is taking it upon themselves to redo Medabots in a fully 3D, almost borderline Hollywood CGI way, where it looks fantastic.
Hmm.
And it's only like a minute and 40 seconds, probably
Are
less,
they
as a
are
teaser.
they
It's
doing any
really
more?
cool.
It's gonna be a
He
full
said that
fight
he
of
wants to.
Rakusho and Metabee.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. It looked really cool. It does seem to be using dub lines,
Oh yeah.
so we'll see how they end up doing it. But I'm
Yeah, they're
excited to see
sound
what they do
cutting
there.
from the English dub.
Mhm.
Yeah. So with that being said, the fight of the week. What we got is the legit only fight that was on this
No,
week,
no, no.
which was the
There were two.
what?
There was the
What was the?
Medabi versus Rakusho in their memories only fight where they yell at each
Oh,
other.
that doesn't count.
Where he kills Rakusho.
I mean, he
That doesn't
fights him. I don't
count.
know if he died. Death is really
It literally
weird for
shows
them
him dead.
because
It
their
literally
bodies.
shows him dead.
They point out that their bodies are basically worthless. To kill a Medabot, you have to harm the metal. They are
Mhm.
just the metal. They are
Mhm.
purely. They
Yeah.
purely exist as that metal. That's it. Everything else is just set dressing.
So we're gonna go with the correct fight, you bitch.
I hated it.
Giant Metabee versus Babby Blue.
It
I
broke
hated
Paul.
it.
It broke Paul.
I hated it.
Oh man.
Yeah, the fight itself sucked.
So the
I've
fight
seen
is
more
bad, but
movement.
there's some really good animated portions. Like the fact that they actually animated the hand, the fist, smacking into the shield and then crashing into the ground, cool looking. The fact that it was animated shooting back onto the arm, cool looking. Pretty much everything else, yeah.
Pretty much.
My
Yeah.
biggest issues
This
was
is
the inconsistency in the size.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
fact
yeah.
that I've seen Super Sentai shows show more movement and more size
Mm. Consistency.
consistency
Hmm.
than that show did, and just the fact that there was so
yeah, it's not a good fight.
the
So this
life-size
is probably gonna
Gundam
go to
moved
the
more
lowest.
than Metabee did.
Damn.
Am I wrong?
No.
Technically,
Thank you.
no,
I
because
never want to say that you're
it
right, but
stepped
you're kind
forward,
of
I think,
wrong.
twice, and then proceeded to
It,
light up and do stuff, and then step back, which is
mhm.
technically more movement than we saw the giant Metabee do, because 90% of its on-screen time was stuck still.
And you didn't even see it
Yes.
get up.
Nope, it
It
just went from
literally
ground to
either
standing.
yeah.
Uh, oh
Yeah.
It's like
man.
That's not a good fight.
it's like the entire budget for that episode. No, sorry, the entire budget for the last 3 episodes went into the rocket arm flying off, bouncing off the shield,
Yep,
and then reattaching to the arm.
that's
That
that's most of
literally
the
was the
animation budget.
cleanest thing.
The best fight out of those episodes is still the War Bandit versus Metabee knockdown throwdown. That
Knockdown
thing was
Throwdown.
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
God, that
absolutely.
fight's so good.
Absolutely. That's probably the best fight of the entire
Probably.
season.
Like, can you imagine if they had that budget for every fight? Oh.
Oh man, that would be amazing. Too bad it's never gonna happen.
No, this show did not do great in any country. There's a reason this is the
Nope.
only show.
Well, then we got Medabots Spirits.
That's still technically part of this one, but yeah, technically it
I
is a
really don't know
different
why it's
show
called Metabot Spirit.
because
It
it's a
should be
Well, then
sequel.
literally
you won't be
Medabots
involved in it, you
Transformers.
Because it's
motherfucker.
a
It should
spiritual
literally.
successor. Jeez.
It's not a spiritual successor. All the freaking Metabots have a car mode now
Yeah,
in
that's
Spirit.
Paul,
actually so.
Paul.
Fun fact: that's borrowed
He was
from the
giving you a
game.
pun and you didn't even groan.
No, it only harmed Sean. So that transforming thing is actually an adaptation of a feature from the third game. So there was apparently some feature that involved changing the Metabot, and that became the transformation thing that happened in the anime. That's
Honestly, that sounds
part of that
cool.
give and take. I'm sure it was cool in the
You know how I
game.
love my Transformers.
You are,
hmm
yeah,
That was a segue.
I'm not. I was not gonna take the. I was not
That's a
gonna
good
take
point.
it.
Are we segueing into something that won't release at all around this actual episode when people listen to
So, everyone, we have a new special coming
it?
up. Uh, in the next episode, we are going to be reviewing something that is being hosted by Will here. Will, what are you hosting?
I am hosting a grand galactic ball. It is going to involve.
Are you going to be hosting a fat planet?
Ah,
That's the name of the theme song.
no. The with a PH. The I am
Yeah, it's a
I
good
am
song, by the way.
hosting the Transformers Beast Machines episode, which is the sequel
Is that
series.
the anime?
What?
Is that the anime?
Would you call it an anime? What did we classify Beast Wars as?
Well, no, because there's Beast Wars 2, which is an actual anime.
No, that's a real anime. Beast Wars and Beast Machines are
Yeah.
CG animations from Canada. Beast Wars
Hmm.
2, Beast Wars Neo, or Beast Wars Second, is an anime from Japan that is anime as fuck and shonen as fuck and never came out here
Yeah.
and was, still doesn't have an official dub because Hasbro is weird, as is the Transformers people. They're very weird. They know how rabid their fan base is. It has its own convention and yet they still weirdly won't release some of their stuff in America at all. They're like, nah, it's cool. Our fans don't want to watch that. They'll watch anything,
Meanwhile, before we get Armada, we end up getting Robots in Disguise, which is really
which is
fucking
a
weird.
weird spin off where they
Yeah.
call Megatron a Predacon. They don't call him a Decepticon. His symbol is the Predacon symbol. He, rather than being disguised at all, is a five mode giant hand, two headed dragon, race car, jet, and giant dragon man. Sorry, six, and giant bat. A six changer, and everyone else on his team is a robot or a humanoid.
Yep.
I don't know how to explain robots in disguise because it makes so little sense.
It's
It's a
also not a
fever
very
dream.
good show.
Probably not. I only ever saw a few episodes, but it's really weird, and it was a
hey,
weird follow up to Beast Wars.
hey, Will, you know what? You
Uh,
can watch the entirety of in Disguise on YouTube for free.
really?
They
Really?
have it all split up. You can actually find playlists that have the entire
Fucking
dub on there.
wild. That is wild. I might watch. I don't know if I'll watch the whole thing, but I might watch some of it, at
Oh, I
least the
got 4 episodes
introduction.
in, and I'm like, I'm done.
But we're going to be circling back around. We're watching Beast Machines, which is the sequel to Beast Wars. It is
Yes.
an entirely different writing team, which is why the first episode feels like it could be attached to the original show, and it proceeds to leap off of a cliff into the void and never return. And then the show continues for 26 episodes, and it, for some reason, always feels longer than that when I watch it. Even when I liked it the second time, I found out it was 26 episodes when you said those words, and I went, that's not a true statement. And then I looked it up and was like, oh my god, it feels so much longer than Beast Wars, and yet it's so much shorter.
So I've already started watching it as I posted in the Discord and sent to you. I already finished the first disc in one sitting.
Hmm. It
I was
is,
actually gonna
it's
ask if
pretty
I could watch it
wild.
with
There's
you.
a lot of weird shit in it.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Paul?
I was gonna say if I was gonna ask you if I could come over and watch it with you, because I'm
You can. It's just not this week, but yeah.
okay. I'll do it next week then.
But yeah. I'm already enjoying it. I do have some choice things to say.
So I'm going to try and give myself, because we got a little peek behind the curtain, real world time. We have a little bit of time before we get there. I
I've
might,
given us quite a bit of time to watch it, but you know how
I,
I
I
binge.
might rewatch it again because I did after finishing it for the second time, where I didn't hate it. I liked some of its ideas, its writing, and I could kind of see what they were going for. And I was legitimately disappointed that at the time it was probably too weird and just it didn't catch on enough to get its third season because they
Mm-hmm.
have posted pictures of what that would have looked like online, some of the concept artists, and it would have looked wild. Even for Transformers, Beast Machines is the weirdest Transformers has gotten. Well, okay, it's the weirdest design wise, like the most alien they've gotten, and the strangest and most warped and stylized. I can't say weirdest because certain shows exist only in Japan, but we're
Hmm.
not going to talk about this. But the yeah, it's the weirdest and wildest and like strangest they've gone because they truly tried to cross the whole organic barrier and they went really hard on organic in Beast Machines, and then if there had been a season 3, they were gonna lean that hard but then bring the pendulum back and make them more machiney, and it would have, some of those concept arts would have looked really freaking cool, and it would have been neat to see them kind of try to square the circle of, okay, they were very machiny, they went to earth, they got kind of organic, then they went really organic for the first two seasons. Now we're going to kind of like, we're going to bring it full circle. It would have been interesting to see them do that.
I'd like to see those concept arts.
I will try to find them, but I think I've only seen them on like wikis. I'll try to find them and post them just to see what I've seen, because I know for sure I've seen a picture of what Cheetor would have looked like, and I think he was going to be a
Does
race
he
car.
not? Does he look a lot better than he does in the original show? Because in this, he looks a lot like Transmutate.
I see why you say that. Their body proportions are weird. There is a very particular art style they're going with, which is incredibly like stretched out limbs and like bodies. Like they all look really
which is
weird.
which is really such a stark contrast because the very first episode they all have their same designs
Yes,
that they
they are
had when they
stuck
were
in
originally
beast
Beast from
mode.
Beast Wars.
And that episode, they're stuck in beast mode and they wind up having to kind of figure it out because they crash land and all they remember is being on the ship, and then all of a sudden they're on the planet, they're on the surface of Cybertron getting hunted, and they don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
It's a wild
it's an
opening.
interesting concept. I am gonna say I'm enjoying for the most part what I have seen, and this
Yeah,
is my second rewatch, third time viewing it.
yeah,
I don't hate it. I will pick apart certain choice things that they've done,
yeah.
but all in all, I still enjoy this show despite hating it my first time around.
It's hard. I do think it was a mistake, personally, to not either contrive, and I don't care how contrived, but to contrive a way to draw a line between how they were going to wind up writing them for machines compared to wars, or to just throw the cast out.
Well, I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you right there because I don't want us to go into full much of the review until we actually do the review. So that being said, you guys have that to look forward to. After that, we're going back to the well with the Transformer live action movies.
I'm down for that.
Hang on one second. There we go.
Still there?
All right, there we go. Now he should be fine. So we're going to go back to the well with the Transformers live action movies.
There we go. Now did you get anything
Yeah,
I
we
said?
got all that. And I was trying to cut you off.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to the well with the Transformers live action movies. We're going to start off with Transformers is it The Last Night? No, not The Last Night. It's Age of Extinction, right? I think it's that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Dinosaurs first.
Yeah. So we're going to go into that
Dinosaurs
one.
is 4.
Yeah. And then we're going to go into The Last Night, which everyone seems to hate. So
Really?
oh yeah, people absolutely hate that one. Now, The Last Night should technically be our season 2 finale. I may or may not include another movie in there. I haven't decided yet. It all depends on how I'm feeling by the time we finish that episode. But yeah, once we're done with season 2, we'll be taking a little break. That way we can go ahead and get these episodes worked on, get them released. But then, because I don't know if anybody's going to listen to the final special, in its entirety because it's The Last Night. We're gonna
People might skip that one.
Yeah. We're going to move on to the original podcast that I created, Toku for Two. Will be joining me on this one. My original co-host, Christian, will no longer be able to participate except for maybe some specials here and there. And the other co-host that I had intended, Ryan, he is unfortunately bowing out from podcasting in general. So we're going in with a new direction. So we're going to label it as Toku for 2W. Care to understand why the W's there?
I don't, actually. What does it mean?
Yeah, Will.
Oh, is it? Ah,
Yeah, Toku
nice.
for 2 Will, but basically Toku for 2W. It's going to be like a play on like what you see with a lot of like different animes where they have
Oh, yeah.
a
When
name
it's
and then
when
a
it's
random
really
letter.
formulaic,
Yeah.
and then it'll be like, this is the 9th iteration of this franchise. It's called that, and then they just throw a word at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a ultra, mega, super.
3-4-R. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. So yeah, this is future Sean. Unfortunately, past Sean was not really in the right state of mind when planning all this. So Took for 2 season 2 is not happening just yet. It's gonna happen after Big Mecha season 3. So stay tuned, everyone. Have a good night.